Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Lads Discuss Death Battle live for 2024. Join with me, as always, as the world devouring your only mate.
Guys, I feel like we're being watched.
You do that joke every live stream.
And I keep forgetting that I do it, but midway through it, I think, wait, have I done this before? I feel like I've done this before.
Well, speaking of something done before, the next co-host is, well, you've probably seen him in the chat. He's greeting everyone, Shawnee.
I have not seen the chat in a long time. I say that because we used to do premieres for this season. It's nice to see everyone again. Hello!
Yeah, it's kind of weird to actually have like the chat for Lads Discuss Death Battle. But yes, we are here. If you've probably read the description, we're going to be discussing Unicron versus Galactus, the teased. There's been some things that have come out about it, which we won't go on it for too long. It could probably be another topic in itself. There's a lot that people are theorizing with this. But we're also going to have our finale Lads debate. And once we get to that Lads debate, I'll put a poll on. And then once me and Sean are done debating, we'll see what you guys vote for. But then your only mate has to decide who convinced him better. Also, I will say, we may be 2 hours late.
Work is rough.
Yep, Sean got stuck in traffic. My family were arriving, so I had to be ready for them. Mate wanted chicken.
I was just going to say, and I'm here too.
Also, shameless classic streamer plug in 3, 2, 1. Be sure to like the stream.
So, people, Galactus versus...
Sorry, did you say stream or scream?
Stream.
Hey, Starshot made it. He was worried he wasn't be able to make it.
Hello.
Right then, so it'll probably change on screen in a second because I forgot delays when we're talking about things compared to the live. There it is. There's the change. So, Unicron versus Galactus. Before we get to that, though, I will address some comments. So, from Schizo... that is a pretty cool name, but I hope I am pronouncing that right if you are watching. And a comment will appear on screen soon, people, but by the time it's on screen, then it'll be synced. Jiren ain't no villain. This is under our Goku vs. Superman review. Jiren ain't
Who's Jiren?
Yeah, I just read that weirdly. I don't know why. Jiren ain't no villain, but mighty underdeveloped character-wise. Honestly, that bit is true. I do want to see him come back. Edit, Lex Luthor smarter than Bruce Wayne. If we go non-humans, there's someone like Brainiac dwarfs both of them with intelligence. I think it's always been kind of debated amongst DC fans on who's the bigger brains of the two. Like, I would actually argue they're both even. I think there was like a DC comic book where Batman died and Lex had to quickly ask, wait, Batman's dead, right? Yeah. Then I am the smartest person in the universe. But yeah, I do agree, like, Jiren, he needs to come back from Dragon Ball. He's a really underutilized character. He was really awesome when he was introduced.
I have no comment. I know Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah, that's true. I was waiting for you guys to maybe chime in on that. But yeah, I forget Shaw's not really into Dragon Ball. Also, I got a suit on the Cypher correct. Oh yeah, they did reveal on Death. That's from C Spadina. Also, thanks for joining C Spadina. Yeah, he mentioned how like yeah, Death Battle recently revealed under comments what the symbols meant for which Death Battle.
Yeah, I believe suit was Gojo Makima.
Right. Next one. This is from Robert.
Jiren is mid at best, says Yang.
Well, fuck you, Yang! Get off my stream. You're banned. Perma-banned.
And we're not even 10 minutes in, and Bill's already cussing out his viewers.
It's alright, me and her are friends in real life, so I can cuss her out. It's legal. This is from Robert Curley. I'm going to say this. Season 10 is the best season of Death Battle so far. 9 out of 16 vocal tracks, potentially 10. 5 commission track matchups turned official. Peak episodes such as Scooby-Doo vs. Courage. Tons of long-awaited matchups. Brutal deaths to start off the season. Death Battle has peaked this season. Honestly, I'm already going to reveal it. Yeah, I do think this season of Death Battle is the best. Like, no competition. Even the season that featured SpongeBob, I would say this season is better.
Robert, you can change that potentially 10 to actually 10 now.
Like, it was a really good season. There's so many great episodes. Yang and Say just do it, coward. Don't tempt me, Yang. Don't tempt me. I might not be able to turn Sean and Mate into ducks anymore. I don't have that power while live streaming, but I still have power in some way.
No, thank you for reminding me.
God damn it, I forgot we have the soundboard in the live stream now. Shit.
I was tempted, but I thought, you know what? Best not.
But what do you
come
guys?
on, the chat loves the soundboard.
All right then. What do you guys think? Do you think this season was peak?
I mean, I still have my bias, personal preference to another season, but this season was pretty goddamn awesome.
Yeah, I get you.
I'll definitely say it. I feel like for me personally, it picked up a lot more in the second half.
Really, I would actually say the first half was really amazing. Right, so to say. Hell, we got Dark Souls finally, and people stop posting ducks in the chat.
Yes, post the ducks.
No, stop posting the ducks. Every person that posts a duck, I'll punch a kitten. Alright, final comment.
I would hide.
Final comment, ironically
Your
by
avatar.
Yang. Final comment, ironically by Yang the Insane. Honestly, while back, this is for our lads debate, and this is something Sean was talking about behind the scenes, because it might be unobvious. Yang's a bit of a Batman fan. Honestly, while Batman has combat and experience...
Wait, really?
I do think Sam, along with Grim, could find a way to put Batman down, specifically the animated series. That surprised me. The biggest Batman fan in our fandom was convinced Sam Fisher would win.
Hooray! I take that as a victory. Let's fucking go, baby!
Yeah, like...
Good job, Sean.
I think I've...
Have a
Thank
cookie.
you.
I don't think I've ever convinced Yang the Insane of any matchup that I've debated. I feel like there's a bias towards British people. She never goes for me in my lad debates. But
No, that's not British people. It's just like,
oh,
it's a you thing.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, speaking of the lads debate, the winner is, by you fuck guys, the animated series Batman over composite Sam Fisher. I'm not sure if the percentage has changed, but I thought I had to get a screenshot of this because he won by 69% of votes.
Nice.
69 to 31. It was close for a long while.
It was 50-50 for 2 days, and then just Batman just came in and just got the funny number. Nice. From Teased for Dinner, Bill Cipher vs. Discord was my favourite episode of the season and the show. Honestly, that episode was pretty good. I was really surprised. It confused me at first, because I thought Discord managed to win by trapping Bill Cipher, but then they did a good way of making you confused on like who actually won. I like that. But
yeah, there were so many good episodes this season.
all right then. So let's actually talk about this episode, which I kind of in this image I kind of just skipped to the fight, which oops. But yes, people. I mean, a lot of people were on Galactus' side for this one. I was quite surprised to see on so many polls, Galactus kind of stomped.
Yeah, hold on. Let me pull mine up. Keep talking. This might take a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Bill, starting off with the fight is how the episode started.
Yeah. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the analysis. Yeah, it was a good analysis on 2 characters. Oh, I'm dying over here. I'm allergic to good analysis, apparently.
Okay, just found it. Galactus won my Whose Side You Won poll with 62%.
Also, Teased for Dinner, Bill won the battle, Discord won the war. Honestly, yeah, that's kind of true. But anyway, enough about that episode. All I know is for this season, it's really going to be hard for me to rank these episodes for this season. Also, hi, Reese. Welcome to the live stream. Reese has been our most committed person for our streams. So, shout out to you, Reese. But
Thank you for the ducks, Reese.
honestly, analysis-wise, It was pretty humorous. I loved how they went into detail about I think it was either Gallon ship or another spaceship when they were reading towards a star, and Booster was like, I'm pretty sure what the last thing on their mind was, oh God, help! How do I turn this thing around? I was like, that's pretty funny. Because let's be real here, yeah, that is what you'd be thinking at that last moment.
But to be fair, could be one of Galactus' many retcons.
Yes, he is the victim of a lot of them.
Yeah, I think that's the thing when it comes to comic book characters like Marvel or DC. Like, when you get rebooted, many story arcs just get, like... It's really sad with a lot of Marvel and DC comic books where they'll have a really satisfying finale, but then they have to reboot. Like, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, he managed to finally start his own company, Parker Industries. And then they were like, reboot! It's like, oh, okay, well...
Bro, this is the best sound effect I can do for a dramatic entrance.
Oh, that is mean, man.
I say that because the Fireball RKO's comment saying, run away, bro is here. Ah.
Okay. Hi, Proboscis, welcome. The first and potentially only bro to ever join this live stream. Who knows, maybe Richard and Z-Dog will join.
Cue Z-Dog.
Damn it.
Oh, wait, he's dead.
He didn't show up on time. God damn it, Z-Dog, you've ruined it.
He probably died first somewhere. And that would make sense in the next Among Us video, people. Hint, hint. And he just replied, you can't escape me. Okay, John Cena. Right, other things I liked about the analysis, which this was something I'm not sure if we mentioned in our prediction, but honestly, I was quite surprised that the version that people see of Galactus isn't technically Galactus, it's just their interpretation of him. I was like, huh, that's okay. And yeah, the fact other species see a different version of Galactus, which makes you kind of wonder, what do tentacle aliens see?
Someone with a Cthulhu face.
I guess.
Probably.
I would like to see, like, that just means there's a Groot Galactus out there. Can you just imagine that? It's Galactus! I am Groot! What? And they just get devoured.
Spider-Man, you uncultured swine. That's Roboscus.
You're a Spider-Man uncultured swine. And also, someone's just deciding to post their ranking of their death battle. You know, you could leave just one comment, Charles. I'm just saying, for future videos you comment on. Also, funny enough, we're talking about what people see when they see Galactus. We just got to the part where Boostic sees Dummy and Wiz as beers. Like, it's both wholesome but also kind of messed up. Like, Boostic revealed a lot of his sad backstory, like how he talks about like what happened to his granddad. Which, don't get me wrong, Boostic, your granddad sounded fucking hardcore. Listen, anyone who knows they're gonna die and chooses to fly into death itself with a smile on their face, you know what? They get respect.
I don't know what's funnier, a dummy with a Galactus hat or a beer can with a Galactus hat.
Now, I was about to say there's a cannibalism joke in there, but I almost forgot that Boomstick did drink Wiz once.
Oh god, yeah, he did, didn't he?
In Dio versus Alucard.
Yeah, that was...
He has a taste for it, and now it can never be sated.
Oh, God. But, honestly, overall, though, my opinion on the analysis was... Honestly, it was good.
I like Galactus a lot.
There was one thing I really wanted them to bring up for Galactus. They showed Squirrel Girl. Fun fact, Squirrel Girl was one of the reasons Galactus doesn't destroy Earth. Because he finds her adorable. Yeah.
Is it bad I'm not surprised by that?
I'll be honest, I am. He's just like, I'll destroy this Earth. Sees Squirrel Girl. You are precious. Anyone that tries to harm you, I will destroy.
I say that because Squirrel Girl was on a death battle cast against Sandy. And Squirrel Girl won.
I mean, to be fair, don't underestimate Squirrel Girl. She is actually pretty overpowered.
I mean, she's like one of the only legit times that Doom has lost a fight.
Yeah. Hell, she's managed to resist universe eration. So it's like...
Isn't that like there's that comic cover where she's like beaten every single villain, including Galactus and Thanos.
Yeah. Sees Bedina cringe. No! Okay, Squirrel Girl will depend on her writers. Does have some questionable comic books. Like, I think there was like an Ultimate comic book where it turned out her and Wolverine had a very Seth the Programmer type of relationship. Yeah, just... I like the Ultimate Universe. There's just some aspects I'm like, just ignore that comic. Just ignore that. It's an awkward relationship I have with the Ultimate Universe. Epic
Yeah.
Toon Force L. Oh, god damn it! Why does everyone seem to hate Squirrel Girl?
Why not?
There is something in Galactus's analysis that I kind of wish they talked about, and it's the whole one-shot Darkseid thing.
Oh yeah, that was in the comic book crossover.
Excuse me?
Yeah, in the comic
Oh, yeah,
crossover.
it's not
Yeah. See?
Oh yeah, I looked it up. Well, today actually. Like, Galactus went to eat Apocalypse. Darkseid's like, no, this is my plan. I'm not letting you do that. They fought. Galactus one shot, but then decided, you know what? This world's dead. I think I'm good. And just left.
Yeah. I mean, in
Wasn't
my
that the same
opinion,
comic series?
yeah, like in my
Wasn't that the same
opinion,
comic series that
no, go.
Sorry.
No, I was just gonna
that
say,
was the same comic series that Storm and Wonder Woman fought in.
yeah. So I think it was like, funny enough, when they were doing like, oh, who versus who, they did Galactus versus Darkseid, a very weird match. But honestly, yeah, if they actually did Galactus versus Darkseid, yeah, my money's on Darkseid. Also, hey, Torog, welcome to joining the stream.
I've actually seen more people talk about Doom versus Darkseid.
I would love to see Doom return, but against Darkseid, he is fucked. Like, there's many things.
Doom does
Doctor-
not fail.
Darkseid, like Omega Beam, go brr.
I will say though, Doom stands a much better chance than Thanos did.
Maybe I still kind of say he does get destroyed, but anyway, that Galactus analysis was pretty good, but Unicron's analysis, I think where I went into a lot of details about this, I already kind of knew all this information, so I wasn't at all surprised, really, which is kind of a shame, because I really would have liked my reaction if I didn't know that the Unicron is the same Unicron thing, but hey, I was representing Unicron, so I guess that while you're researching it...
And if you didn't, I feel like Robuscus would have killed you.
Yeah, actually, I did ask him in DMs, hey, by the way, how did I do with Unicron? He just said, you did good. And I was just like, yay! Vindication!
I was
That
about to
you
look
have
up
seen-
comments, just like, oh yeah, I never checked if he left one.
So,
You have received the Bro Transformer blessing.
yeah, there you are. I wish I could put it on screen because it's a live stream, so I can't edit. I got the Proboscis Transformer stamp of approval, people. I did good. And so, yeah, what do you guys think about Unicron, though? Because what did you think of his analysis, first of all? I didn't think much of it. Like, it wasn't terrible. I was just like, yep, all this stuff is accurate.
I mean, basically the same. I will say the Wisdom Boomstick cutaway wasn't as funny as the one they had in Galactus.
Yeah, it's like, I got what they were trying to do with it. It just kind of felt drawn out, maybe.
Also, Boomstick's like, okay, he's just drunk and like passes out.
It felt random.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as bad as his Silver Surfer versus Martian Manhunter, where he's just all like, "Cowabunga, da da da." I'm gonna say every surfboarder quote. Just yeah, it wasn't that bad, but it was still kind of like, okay, that's how it felt. Also, this is from Nova Revenant, which, hey, welcome to the stream, Nova. I've seen people now suggesting Galactus versus Anti-Monitor. I'll be honest, I'm not actually too familiar with the Anti-Monitor like a lot of people. I'm a big DC fan, but do you know how many comic books of DC there is?
Too many.
Yeah, so like, there's gonna be some comics that escape my sight because it might not interest me, so I don't fancy reading it, or it's not a character I'm familiar with.
Oh wait, yeah, didn't they bring up Anti-Monitor in one of Superman's episodes?
Yeah, I believe they did.
Like-
So apparently, the Boomstick Drunken dialogue is an Orson Welles reference.
Yeah, funny
I'll be
enough,
honest, I don't know who that is.
Nova and Brobuscus both addressed that. Fair enough. We're just uncultured.
Oh, it was Orson's last role, Unicron. That's why.
Oh yeah, I knew about that.
I didn't.
Okay, so do you know what? Fair enough. As a reference, that's actually a pretty good reference. So, okay, I changed my opinion on that. Like, okay, after learning about it, it actually is. It makes sense now with context. I guess that just goes to show we lads are uncultured.
It just goes over some people's heads. Some analysis have that.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. We've definitely never been crucified by someone in our comments when we disagree with them.
Or let alone we crucify each other for not knowing a certain franchise.
Yeah, that is also kind of true. But overall, analysis was good. I really liked it. Do you know what? One panel I was actually quite surprised by when it was showing like how many universes Unicron potentially endangered. There was one panel of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I was like, honestly, that makes sense. They're both kind of toy lines. But these other franchises, I'm just looking at, it's like, is one of them G.I. Joe?
G.I. Joe?
Yeah, like when it shows a panel of all these like toy line comic books, because Unicron threatened like multiple universes. One of the characters looks like one of the villains in G.I. Joe.
Huh.
So it's like, wait, did Unicron really affect that many? Because whenever I hear like, oh, they threatened the multiverse, usually it's to do with characters set within the IP. So to see other IPs could potentially be threatened by this multiversal being is actually kind of refreshing, and like in a day and age now where we're kind of getting sick of multiverse stories because they are just kind of getting redundant now, or maybe just overused. I'd say. Also,
that's a good point, Nova.
Also, C's for dinner. Casuals, am I right, lads? Indeed, we are casuals. Hasbro owns the rights to Transformers, G.I. Joe, and My Little Pony. You know what? That's true. So, but they don't own the rights to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? That again, Nickelodeon's always down to do crossovers, so I'm not surprised if they approach them like, "Hey, can we just feature a cameo of your characters for this comic?" They're like, "Yeah, why not?"
Oh, Discord versus Unicron, anyone?
I would love that. From Brobuscus, fun fact, Transformers and G.I. Joe did cross over in the comic books. I do remember actually asking Bro about that and asking if it was canon, so now you can answer live. Is it canon, their crossover?
Pressure's on.
But, alright, so we talked about the analysis for a while. Do you guys have any final says before we get to the fight?
I kind of just want to get to the fight, to be honest.
Fair enough.
That's fair. I think the analysis were good for both characters.
Yeah. Also, if you just heard a bump in my microphone, sorry about that. I just accidentally bumped it with my feet. I'm trying to make myself
I was just that
again.
excited to talk about the fight.
Right then. So, a big controversial opinion, people. This Death Battle season finale was good. Honestly, yeah, I think it was a good fight. And I did say this in my reaction, which I'm very curious what people are going to think. I don't think it's as good as Gogeta versus Vegito. But I'm not trying to say this fight is terrible. It's not. It's really good. I just think...
It is so visually pleasing to the eyes.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's mad pretty.
Yeah, visual-wise, it's amazing. Like, it is actually... These guys pull out all the stops because they know this has been their most requested... Well, they even said it in the reveal, like, the #1 most requested fight.
It's time for the death battle you've been asking for forever!
Yeah.
I
So
think this is also the first time we've gotten the Rooster Teeth 3D animation team, not the Blender team, but the actual 3D team to do a solo adventure.
wait, so the people behind Ruby did this fight?
I think so, because I didn't see like Dido or like the usual Blender team in the credits. I could be wrong on that.
Hey, that's actually pretty damn awesome. They went from doing Ruby Volume 9 this year to the Justice League movies, and now they're doing a death battle fight. What can you say? Animator's got range. Starshock, hard
I
disagree.
mean, they also... You know what I mean.
Starshock, hard disagree on beating last season's finale. Well, Starshock, you can go suck a melon. That's all I say.
I think Galactus vs. Unicron is definitely more visually pleasing than Gogeta Vegito, but I think the combat might work better because it feels faster paced, whereas these guys are just bigger, so the movements have to be slower.
Yeah, people. I've seen some complaints like, "Oh, why were these two moving so slow?" People, these guys are the size of planets. What did you expect them to do? Gymnastics or Taurian style flips?
Yo, Galactus doing a cartwheel.
Oh, God.
Actually, funny
Or
enough,
even better yet, Unicron does a backflip.
well, funny enough, I was about to get to that. I won't lie. The start of this fight with Galactus, like palming Unicron and his planet form is just spinning. I don't know. That's just funny. I love that.
It was.
Now I'm just picturing him and the other Celestials just using him as like a volleyball, and he's just like, "Stop it! Stop it! I'm a serious threat." But funny enough,
Also, in terms of like... Okay, so we've had characters get blasted into the sun. We've had Superman take a dip in the sun and power up. We've had Beerus destroy the sun.
I think I know where this is
We
going.
now have Galactus backhanding a sun.
Oh yeah, that was kind of sick. Also, the theme of this season as well not just this season, just lately with Death Battle. Yeah, just basically fuck Earth. Basically, like the amount of times Earth's been destroyed, and not just this season, but even the last one. It's like, look, I get it. Humanity is kind of screwed up, but can you please stop destroying our planet for 5 minutes? For 5 minutes.
I wonder if that's a count. I wonder if that's a count we should do. Just how many times does Earth get blown up in Death Battle?
Yeah, do you know what? Someone in this chat, someone go, like, if anyone knows at the top of their head or if they're willing to go back, how many times has our Earth been destroyed? If you want to include the universe being
Actually,
destroyed.
give me a minute. I might be able to give a guess.
But, also, I've been missing some of the chat. Probuscus, I have the power of Google and Wikipedia on my side, Shawnee boy. But yeah, honestly, most of this fight I've just really loved. Like, mostly the visual stuff. Like, for instance, because these two are like planet size and they're multiversal threats, you can't just have these guys just throwing planets at one another. And they took some liberties, like Unicron crushing a sun into a black hole. I was like, okay, that is pretty baller. Or just this moment here where Unicron grabs Galactus by his helmet and just knees him in the face. I was like, ouch. Yeah, you know, those helmets are... That helmet is impractical in a fight against another celestial being now that I think about it. In fact, most of this fight, did you guys ever notice they were fighting next to a giant black hole?
Yeah, I noticed that. And oh, during my reaction, I meant to bring this up, but just didn't. When Unicron grabs a sun, crushes it into a black hole, and then slams it into Galactus, and it blows up.
Yeah, it's just...
I was reminded of how Galactus destroys black holes by accident by walking into them.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's like, it's a little reference to that.
Yeah. Also, this is the thing I will say. This fight is great for its dialogue. Like, first of all, the voice acting, really good. The line delivery from these two, though, is both sinister, but also, like, godlike. Which I guess is kind of meant to sound like that, because, well, these are literal gods. But we've had, like, godlike characters that don't really have that dominant side in combat, whereas these two like are trying to one up one another with their lines. Like Galactus goes, leaving so soon, Unicron, and Unicron just goes, no, transforming. I was like, that was a cold line.
Bill, I know you said this in your reaction video. I don't know if anyone ever pointed it out, but Galactus is being played by Wolf Williams, who voiced Apocalypse.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask, like, was that his voice actor? Because it sounded really familiar, and also, wow, he's played as two apocalyptic, powerful beings that win a death battle with... Actually, I guess in this case, no, people were going for Galactus, because I remember people were really saying Black Adam was going to stomp, but then Apocalypse just destroyed him.
Yes, no, but Brent was Geese Howard.
It's pretty sick.
Brent played Unicron.
Nice. Also, the other thing I was going to bring up in this scene, like, when Unicron says no, transforming, and he's just sucking in so many galaxies, planets, and suns, I was like, okay, Unicron is not fucking around. In fact, I never even realized in my reaction, but just here, when Unicron's like ginormous and he like gives off a powerful power surge, galaxies are wiped out, but Galactus is just standing there, just blocking casually. Like, wow, just all those galaxies are destroyed and Galactus just barely moved.
Like, goddamn, dude.
It's like, yeah, just fuck those galaxies, I guess. Some of them were Nazis, I'm pretty sure.
It just shows the insane power that Galactus does have.
Yeah, like I liked how they show like both these two were gaining advantages, but not on like a very like obvious level. Like, you know, galaxies and part of the universe is being destroyed, yet they're still feeling like it's like they just got punched in the face. Honestly, this is just making me really look forward to what Marvel plan to do with Galactus for their movies, because Max, this is going to be a lot of introduction to Galactus for a lot of people, because like, how are they going to do this character in the movie?
Well, I will say Fox set a pretty low bar for that.
Oh yeah, God! I remember they even kind of showed an image of from the film. Do you know what's funny? I remember watching
they showed what looked like his shadow, which was like I think in the movie that was meant to be a reference to what he looks like in the source material.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of things did get cut for that film. Like, Galactus was originally meant to show up, but I think it was due to budgets. They couldn't do it. But I'm just thinking to myself, you guys are aware Jurassic Park came out like 30 years ago, right? Like, if we can make those dinosaurs look so realistic that even now people say they look realistic, I'm pretty sure we can have a man in a purple suit be big enough than a planet. Also, Brabuscus just brought up another quote. Beg not for mercy, behold blackened sky, against mine chaos, even gods will die. Yeah, seriously, Unicron had some really good comebacks in this fight.
Yeah, they kind of just spoke in rhythm. Someone brought it up earlier. Throughout that whole bit. Like, everything was rhyming.
Yeah, it was really good, like, the dialogue, like... Because these aren't the type of characters that go, ha ha, you missed. Like, because they're meant to be this, like, threatening, like, presence when they arrive. Like, literally planets freak out and are traumatized when they arrive. I just love this line that Galactus said back when he turned giant. He goes, Galactus accepts your challenge. Like, damn.
It's... You know what? Never mind.
Actually, do you know what? I need to tell you guys something, because I did actually watch this with the subtitles on. And hold on, let me put on the caption for this, because is it still there? Because I need to read it out to you. Yes, it's still here. It said, for Galactus, he says, Gala sweeps your challenge. Literally, people, go onto the death battle now. When Galactus says that, put on the captions for automatic English, and look, it just says, Gala sweeps your challenge.
I didn't know the Galar region made it into Death Battle.
Like, I did. You could hear I do slightly chuckle, but it's because I'm trying to hold that back because I didn't want to. Because it would look weird because I don't show the caption in the reaction, but that was just so funny when I saw that. But yeah, like I just love that. Gala sweeps your challenge.
That is pretty funny. I also have like the whole thing just up here.
Oh, for the planets being destroyed? Because Seasbadina says probably 7.
No, I mean the rest of what they say.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, Galactus actually.
In fact, I was going to ask, are we specifically counting Earth for that count, or just going with the planet the combatants fight on?
Whichever you prefer. Also, Charles says, my favourite quote, Gala sweeps your challenge. Yeah, the death battle quote of all time.
Put it on a shirt.
You know, I might want to go back to some other fights that came out this season, because they don't do their own subtitles anymore, which is kind of sad. I want to actually read what other mistranslated subtitles we might get. But yeah, but I guess this goes to my big complaint about this season, though. The death. Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate. On one hand, yeah, these two had to be killed by either a reality erasing figure. They're both so overpowered that having them die to just being decapitated or impaled doesn't really work for these two.
Or split in half.
Yeah, which happened twice, but to both of them in the fight, which is kind of funny.
Oh my.
Oh, god damn it.
Phrasing.
But, yeah, like, I do kind of, it does make sense why they went with Galactus erasing Unicron from existence. Because, yeah, any other death is just not really possible. So, yeah, it does make, I just wish his death scream was a little bit more dramatic. Because he just sounded like he just got told they don't have his favourite sandwich topping for his Subway. Do you have meatballs? No. Grrr! Just, oh, okay. That's your big death scream. Like, even Rick versus the Doctor had a pretty agonizing scream. Oh, Proboscis. I'm glad it wasn't like Galactus pulls out the ultimate nullifier at the end. Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of glad about that as well, because
that would have been a bit anticlimactic.
It was pretty clever how he possessed it. I was like, oh shit, that's actually pretty clever. But, you know, I'll quickly talk about this bit. Okay, Galactus tearing open the universe to pretty much be like, no you to Unicron. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, I have won. Bitch, please. And just tears the universe in half just to be like, no, you haven't.
Psych!
Just put in the Chappelle. Gotcha, bitch. I mean, this from Proboscis. I mean, to be fair, Unicron is kind of uncaring as is. I don't know, because even his death in the movie when he's being, like, blown up from the inside, mate, don't say it.
And just pulls his own leg off.
Yeah, that was really weird. Like, even as a kid, I never quite got why. There's actually many moments in the movie I don't get why they animated that. Like, I can't remember who it was. Not Rhymus Prime. There was, like, another truck transformer who he puts in, like, the spark of leadership, puts it in, pulls it out again quickly, like he's adjusted it, and puts it back in his chest. It's a really weird moment in the film. Like, it's meant to be this dramatic thing, like, he accepts the spark of leadership, puts it in his chest, and then he's like, alright, let me put it out, back in. Like, it's... Or there's, like, another Transformer who's just randomly, like jumping on the spot. There's a lot of weird things in the animated movie that just don't make sense. like mate just said, Unicron pulling off his own, like, oh no, I'm dying! Leg ripped off.
Dead.
Ultra Magnus.
That was it. Yeah, it's been a while since I've watched that film, but I'll be honest, when I was researching Unicron, that acid scene still traumatizes me.
I attended a watch party with Proboscis leading up to this episode.
Another watch party Bill wasn't invited to.
You're not in the server.
No, fuck you, Bill.
He was more forgiving with me and Kia the first time. Why is he aggressive with you?
Only because I keep hearing you guys are having watch parties every time. Oh, fuck you, Yang. But yeah.
Rip.
Shut the fuck up with the duck. That's it. Next season, Last Discuss Better, we're killing the duck. Anyway, final say. honestly, overall,
No, that sounds like a foul thing to do. Why? Why would you do that?
yeah, my final say is, you know what? It was a good episode, a good finale. Not my top 5, but I really enjoyed it. It was worth the 10-year wait. Is that all? Yeah, I like the episode. It was really good. Proboscis, I mean, it's your own damn fault, not my fault you're not in that server. Fuck you, Proboscis, you're not involved in this discussion. This is between the lads, alright?
He just puts in chat, I'm feeling pretty involved.
You're not involved. You're not involved, and... Oh, wow, Reese, let me get the world's smallest violin. I'm being bullied by chat. I'm being bullied.
This is just like when you can... This is just like when you confuse EA with Heihachi. Memories.
I forgot about that.
Next time on Lads Discuss, it's duck season. Cease for dinner. I tell you what, if you just made that joke and next season we get Donald versus Daffy, then you've made the Lads Curse strike again.
Thank you, Proboscis.
Oh, god damn it, bro. Can you guys just say your final opinions on this episode, please? I'm getting bullied here. Can we move on?
I mean, okay, something that we didn't talk too much about is the track.
It was good.
Oh my god, Tig's lyrics are so beautiful.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Nova, Steve the Elephant's been replaced by Steve the Duck. I'd love to see someone doing fan art of that.
Is this the roast bill live stream? No, that's next year.
Hashtag keep the bill in. Shut the fuck up. Right, I'm gonna mute the chat if this carries on. Nah, not really. I'm enjoying this. I could take being roasted.
Quacked me up, says Steve for dinner.
No, I could take being, people roasting me. Unlike a certain person when Goku vs Superman came out. What was his name? Akira?
Hear that? Yes.
Well, anyway.
It sounds like shots were fired.
Alright, but yeah, mate, you were saying the track. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah. Damn beautiful lyrics.
Yeah, I think we're in the fight itself, so I have listened to the track after the fight. It is good, but I do think a majority of the fight does overshadow the lyrics a lot.
A little bit. Also, is it just me, or were the lyrics a little hard to hear at times? Like, the actual music itself was a bit too loud.
To be fair, though, it's really hard to listen to the lyrics for, something like Fireborn, but it's just so awesome that you just kind of don't care what the lyrics say.
You know what, true.
Like, the lyrics could be saying, my butt is itchy. And it's like, you know what? It still sounds really good that I'll ignore it. Like, can you imagine that's the twist? Like, Fireborn is just someone talking about their itchy backside. Like a clear...
No, it pulls one of the most classic Skyrim misheard song lyrics.
Also, Fireball RKO, still perhaps the best name I've seen. Insert gunshot soundboard. You know what? We need to actually, when we upgrade our soundboard, we need to include that just so whenever we do have a shots fired, we just put that in.
Wait, but will it be like, a stock gun sound, or will it be how a gun actually sounds?
You're such a fucking nerd. Anyway.
No, I'm just saying, well, if you've watched the same Die Hard review I've watched.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to do my serious, you're such a nerd voice. I never get to put on my serious voice.
In the soundboard, it's just that fucking loud.
Maybe not, because that would be a bit annoying to edit. But you know what? Yeah, my final thoughts on this episode. Good episode, and yeah, I do agree with their reasoning behind it. They're even on a lot of things, but when you go into the very small details about these two characters, yeah, maybe Unicron doesn't have something to put down Galactus.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Galactus has used the ultimate nullifier to destroy someone who's the embodiment of the multiverse's destruction.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
Honestly, if it wasn't for the nullifier, then I guess it would just be who could kill each other more. But because Galactus just happens to have the one thing that Unicron can't defend against, oops.
I mean, there's also that Galactus just has more experience fighting beings like him and Unicron.
Yeah, that's a good point as well. Which makes sense, because there's at least I'm not sure what's going on with the current comic books for Transformers, but I don't think Unicron's ever fought another celestial being. I could be wrong on that.
Pretty sure he must have done like at least once or twice.
Yeah, well, it seems to be against Primus. But overall, I like the episode. Do you guys have any final says before we get on to our predictions for this next season? I was about to say this season. It's like, well, we're done with this season.
Yeah, I like it too. And honestly, a lot of my enjoyment from it just kind of comes from they finally done it after all these years of promising and us waiting. Like, when?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was under...
This was the Death Battle community's when Broly.
Oh yeah. I'm not sure if it was under...
Am I wrong?
No, not really. I'm not sure if this is under Mate or Sean's reaction, or it might have been underneath Proboscis' one. Someone pointed out how, honestly, a majority of this season is just requested fights that they're finally doing. Like, Discord versus Bill, Alex versus Cole, Galactus versus Unicron, Ant-Man versus Atom. I remember that being requested since Season 2.
Yeah.
So, hey, people, this is the season that's declared. We're finally doing it.
Man, what a fun finale overall. It was an enjoyable time for one of the most visually stunning fights ever.
Yeah. So, are we done with our final says on this? Are we ready to move on to the next times?
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Alright then. I'm on the wrong screen. Hold on. Here we go. So, people, when it finally catches up with me and Mates and Sean, but on screen for the viewers, they are seeing some cards. So, Death Battle, once again, rather than teasing opponents, it's either one fight that we all know was going to happen this season.
Yeah.
They're doing again like what they did with that whole like board thing, but instead they're using the
Cipher Wheel.
Yeah, so okay, I'm not sure if this is correct. Are these like totem cards? Or they were called something
Tarot cards.
Yeah, now people are right now debating about this. People are saying, are they taking these cards by the literal definition by their titles? Or are they taking them by what the meaning behind these cards is? Now, I'll be honest, I only know about the death one. I don't know about the fallen world, which, now that I think about it, I don't know why I didn't just Google that before the live stream. Huh.
That's what you got me for, because when this came up, I knew immediately who to contact about tarot cards.
So then, but we're going to give each card, we're going to give our opinion on which is for what. As in, like, what we think is going to be the matchup. So the first one, the Fool. So, Sean, why don't you give us a rundown on what the Fool is?
The Fool typically stands for someone who is a novice or a misguided one in the current position of it being upright. Yes, positions matter for tarot cards.
Yeah, so now for my case with the Fool, I actually just probably just revealed it in the live stream, but my matchup, or even just characters I think this could be representing, it could be about two characters that I think they started off as really good people, and they're brilliant, but over time, not only did they get better at their craft, they also kind of became villains. And it's a matchup I've grown interested in after talking about it with Gyro. I think the Fool could be referring to Dr. Octavius versus Mr. Freeze.
Doc Ock versus Mr. Freeze, eh?
Yeah, because both these guys... Now, I'm also kind of taking this in a literal form based on the Fool, because both these two have fucked up in their life. They were great men, brilliant minds, but in their pursuit to get good at their craft and perfect the world, they kind of lost their minds. And this is actually a DC versus Marvel matchup that many people are behind. Like, people want this episode. Like, out of all the Batman versus Spider-Man matchups, this is the one people say this needs to happen.
I mean, if it's this or Mysterio versus Scarecrow.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I've never really been too much into that fight. I mean, it's the whole illusion side that could get interested.
Maybe Green Goblin Joker.
That was one I was thinking that could be, but after Sean told me what the whole full card meant, I was thinking maybe it can't mean the Joker. Well,
And shout out to my buddy Damien for helping me with the meanings of tarot cards, and I kind of gave it to other people because they're not familiar. So, if you've seen what the tarot cards mean, folks, that's probably my fault.
From Starshock, but hey, interesting interpretation. But hey, I won't complain about one of the last good Marvel vs DC matchups. I've always been on the idea there's still a lot of good Marvel versus DC matchups, especially when they always throw like a wrench, like in the work. Like for instance, like Martian Manhunter versus Silver Surfer. I was one of the people that wanted Piccolo versus Martian Manhunter, but when they teased Silver Surfer, I was like, okay, I could dig this. Boy, now I just want Piccolo versus Martian Manhunter again. Because that episode did not sit well with me. We'll get to that in a future video, no doubt. But yeah, so this is what I think the full card can mean. But you're only mate, what was your fool?
Okay, well, I had a bunch of different ideas. One of which I'll probably get to later, is the idea of like all three of them teasing one matchup, which we will get to. But if each one is an individual matchup, this might just be a hope of mine, but I want to throw Jean versus Soccer in there.
Yeah, okay, I do also want to say, actually, that's a good point, mate. Yeah, now I will say, people, don't take this as, this is our big brain at work. These are kind of our theories, but we're also trying to push these matchups in a way. And, I won't lie, people, yeah, my preferred Jean matchup is still against Papyrus. But, I guess this is a good alternative, in my opinion.
But yeah, I think Jean and Soccer both fit the Fool pretty well. Like, both started off as a novice, as Sean put it. But over the course of their series, like, come into their own, and oh boy, in Jean's case, Jesus Christ, the stuff that this boy has gone through.
Hey, you got another Jean versus Soccer sport in the chat, mate. You got Yang behind you.
Yay!
Yeah, to be fair, Jean has gone through a lot. His hair got turned into bananas. The poor bastard.
And then he became old.
And he got more bananas. Yeah, people, Volume 9 of Ruby is a little bit weird in the end with Jean. Like, he is a man that's experienced puberty 3 times.
Oh, God. That sounds awful.
Never again.
Also, from Starshot, I don't know how I feel about this matchup, at least of now, but I'm interested in seeing Jean get a solid episode. I'll be honest, like, Jean's kind of an underrated character, in my opinion. Like, he's not in my top 5 favourite, but honestly, I've never really said, can we please get rid of this character? Like, he's always a character I've enjoyed. That he's one of those, like, good vibe characters, if you know what I mean. It's also just kind of funny to see Miles voicing Jean as dorky, nervous kid. But then you see he plays as perhaps one of the most sadistic villains in Red vs. Blue.
And then he plays David in Camp Camp, who's like the single most positive and upbeat dude ever.
Yeah. Like, people, say what your opinion is about Miles, but the man's got range. Like,
hell, he's voicing the Duracell Bunny now.
Yeah, it's like, man's got range. As for Soccer, similar case with Jean, I don't hate him. He's kind of like a good vibe character. I haven't seen the show at Avatar. Well, I've seen Legend of Korra. Pretty good show. I won't lie, every clip I've seen of Soccer has made me crack up laughing. Like the whole, no, you've killed us all, at the water spillage bit. Like, the actor who's playing as him is having a hell of a time, you can tell.
Yeah. He even plays another character in a different show. At one point, he comes across a boomerang and he just makes a soccer reference. He just picks up going, there's something familiar about this. Boomerang?
From
I remember seeing that clip and thinking it was funny.
From Autistic Gamer Sean, like maybe... Oh wait, you're in the stream. Why am I... I'm addressing that.
I was replying to Starshock while you were respond.
Sorry,
I'll be interrupting.
I was so used to you being in my live stream when I'm streaming Jack and Daxter 2, which there could be another stream of that next week. Yeah, like...
Hello.
So when I was reading that, I was just like, wait, why am I addressing it like he's a commentator? He's literally in the video. Also, from Teased to Dinner, you could say his voice range goes miles. Honestly, that's probably the only pun in the chat so far that I've liked.
Yeah, I mean,
I said it.
Sokka also becomes the navigator for Team Avatar. There's actually an episode where he goes off to do some sword training, and the group can't really function without him.
Hank says, "Screw you, Billy. I'll be back in a second."
Wait, does she? I don't see it. I don't see her comment saying.
Yeah,
that.
I don't see that in the chat either.
Do you know, it probably got censored because of YouTube's whole. Oh, it must be offensive. Well, Yang, if you did say that, screw you, Yang.
Yeah. Honestly, the way I've tried to describe this fight to people is imagine Hercule versus Dan, bit more competent, but with swords.
Fair enough.
Like, I've joked about this idea with Max. It's like, say they fumble and accidentally pick up each other's weapons. Sokka has Jean's shield, and Jean's just like, hey, you don't even know how to use that. Well, it's a shield, how bad could it be?
Oh, okay.
Hits a button and accidentally turns on the gravity dust and goes flying.
Oh, that would actually be pretty good. I think there's some good comedic stuff they could do for this fight.
And the team did say they would be interested in doing a Ruby matchup that doesn't involve a Team Ruby member.
Yeah.
So, hey, here's one.
I mean,
just saying.
He ain't still gonna go on the Cinder versus Meta Crusade. Believe what you wish, folks.
Yeah, I mean, I hope everyone gets their preferred matchup. So, you know, maybe Cinder versus Meta will happen. Like, that's another highly requested Cinder fight, to be fair.
Okay, how about this? We do what they did for Leonardo in season 1. First, we do Azula versus Meta. Whoever wins fights Cinder.
Sure.
There we go. I've solved it.
Yang's like, no,
Yang
angry.
says, no.
I'm just picturing, you know, that Apex Legend Revenants clip, just a no. that's all I'm picturing, just no. Like, she's just standing in the corner of our room, just like, no.
Honestly, Charles, it's hard to say at the moment.
But yeah, so is that so this is what you think it could be, and this is also what you want?
Yeah, sure. I think it fits, and this is a matchup I hope will happen.
From Charles, do the cards mean one match or 3? We don't know, actually. Like, they're being so vague about it. For all we know, we're trying to come up with all these theories, and it turns out it's just for one matchup. But we're still throwing our hats into the rings. Hey, it makes a longer discussion. So,
yeah.
Is that your final say, mate?
We're dropping out for content.
Indeed. One day I'll be monetized and I'll be able to steal your content. I was about to say milk my viewers for content, but I'm not sure that's appropriate.
To be fair, people can give Bill can receive money now on his content.
Well, I still actually need to reach 1,000 subscribers, which, hey, people, share this video around and help the channel grow. Anyway, so Sean, do you want to throw your hat into the Fool's game while I go get a Pepsi?
So I based this guess off. Bill told me it's in the character. I didn't know it was matchups as well, but I do have a matchup for the character in mind. I based it off what all the cards kind of meant, drawn in the order that they were drawn. But the Fool, since it was drawn for us, is inexperienced and does not know what would happen next. Drawn as first represents one's past, and for this, it kind of makes sense. The character I sent Bill to represent the Fool was Booker DeWitt from BioShock Infinite.
When it actually appears on stream, I timed that pretty well. And honestly, this is a character, when Sean sent me this character, I was like, okay. Then also, I want someone to make a meme of the day where it's those two strong-armed men. It's me and Sean. BioShock is peak. Because, seriously, BioShock is one of the best first-person shooter games out there. It is so good.
I didn't know if Bill wanted us to send the matchup, but there is a matchup with Booker that also can fit the Fool in a weird kind of way. If you think about it.
You say it. I wish I could put it on screen, but I can't.
Well, I'll tell the audience at least. It would be Booker DeWitt versus Corvo Altano from Dishonored.
Ooh, that actually sounds awesome. I am down for that.
And Corvo can also make sense with the Fool because you can say, oh, he's experienced with where he comes from. When he comes back, it's completely ravaged by the Black Plague, and after the opening of the game, he's completely tossed into a completely separate world as an outlaw and outcast. As for the reflecting of one's past part, the reason Corvo goes on is to get his past back, which is Emily.
Also, yeah, the story of BioShock Infinite is headfuckery. And it seems though people in the chat are also agreeing with you, and someone seems to be thirsty for Booker. What the... Yang the Insane. Also, Booker is daddy material. Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think this can make sense in this kind of aspect because Booker gets dragged into a completely unknown world where he eventually has to confront his older self, who talks about what the past has done to lead up to making the new world. And Corvo just has to pursue his new past to try to make his world as close as it can be to what it once was.
Man, it's a good thing they didn't use a Dishonored character in 2020 because bit on the nose there.
Gang has no regrets.
Go to Horny Joe.
Yeah,
Starshock, spray her.
I'm glad people are kind of... I'm actually really... Why does Booker look nearly then they go to Nathan Drake? I think Nathan Drake was kind of based off of Booker.
Actually... Wasn't Nolan North, or maybe it was Troy Baker, didn't they voice Booker do it? Like Nolan North?
I forget who voiced Booker, honestly. But yeah, for those who have never played like either of the games, I highly recommend them. BioShock Infinite is probably the best BioShock game.
Troy Baker.
Okay, so to be fair, if you ever hear him sing on the guitar, it's very identical to his role as Joel. The only difference is between DeWitt, he doesn't play golf at the end of his story.
Damn. But yeah, no, that was my choice for the Fool. Was Booker.
I actually kind of like this idea. The matchup you gave as well,
I really,
I'd be down for it.
want Dishonored.
Yeah, I think Dishonored... it has been revealed there is going to be a Dishonored 3, so... The franchise is still going strong. Yeah, it's kind of crazy that's the same franchise under the Bethesda IP. And the same people behind Dishonored are also working on the Blade game, so...
Yes.
There's a lot they could do with this. But, for Robuscus, though Troy does voice Sam Drake, there's that. Really? Huh. Small world. I mean, to be fair, Troy Baker is like one of those voices that if you really say, oh, what character has he played? You really have to answer, what character hasn't he played? Hell, in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Batman crossover, he played as both Batman and the Joker. Which I guess you could look as a bit of a... Maybe that's like a psychological thing, you could argue. Is that your final say for the Fool? Because we're going to move on to, funny enough, Death.
How fitting, considering what these two do.
So Death, which this is the only card that I actually know the concept of it, where it's actually not. This is kind of like a clickbait, really. This is the original clickbait before YouTube. So you'd see that, you panic, and like, oh no, it actually means something good. It means there's going to be a change in your life. And it's just like, you're a dick. seriously, the people, the gypsy caravans had to been such arseholes. They first showed them death. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Oh no, sorry. Death just means you're gonna go through a change in your life. Oh fuck you. I guarantee something like that has happened thousands of years ago.
That's what it is like Upright again, I believe, is what Bill was talking about.
Yeah. Now, I'm kind of cheating here. I have two. But I'll be brief with one of them, because this first one is kind of in a literal sense. And I think the character they could be referring to is... well, I kind of already revealed the one I was going to go into in great detail because I actually put these in the wrong order. But the first one, I think, is going to be Isaac Clarke from Dead Space.
Ooh, Dead Space.
Now,
hold on. They've talked about... I think I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, now, okay, but I will also kind of justify the meaning behind it. Now, I'm only going by the first game, people, because... This year's been my first time playing Dead Space. I did a full playthrough of the remake, the link in the description below. And also, scariest game I've played in years. Now, Isaac Clarke was, despite how he looks, he's an engineer. He's not a soldier or anything. He is literally an engineer. And he got thrusted into a scenario where death was around every corner. And of course, by going through this, he changed. He suffered a lot of PTSD because he went up against not just zombies, but the artifact that created the zombie, like the necromorphs, kind of mentally fucked him up. To the point he was seeing his, spoiler alert for an old game, he was seeing his deceased wife everywhere. When in reality, his wife's been dead for ages. But now I'm not sure what the story of Dead Space 2 or 3 is. I plan to play the second game next year, but from what it sounds like, he kind of went through a change similar to like Leon in Resident Evil 4, where he became a badass, basically. He went from a rookie, and he became a badass. Now, granted, he's not freaking deflecting chainsaws like Leon does, but he's going up against some pretty tough foes. And who do I want to see him fight? It's pretty obvious, Gordon Freeman. Like, there's no other character I can imagine for Isaac.
And watch, when this Death Battle comes out, Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Yes, let the Death Battle curse work. We don't want to have Half-Life 2.0.
There was actually something on Twitter. Someone did like a 48-hour animation challenge, and they did Isaac Clarke versus Gordon Freeman as a Death Battle sneak peek. That was their challenge.
Yo, I've actually
they set for themselves. It's actually really nice.
I've been seeing a lot of fan-made like Death Battle sneak peeks. I saw one for like Chucky and Springtrap. Seriously, Death Battle fans are talented with these. Like, it used to be just fan trailers, but now people are actually making like fan animations, even death concepts. I was like, wow, man, Death Battle fan content is actually getting really good. I wasn't a huge fan of Death Battle
Someone
fan
typed
content.
for Gordon versus Isaac.
Yeah, someone's interested in it. Reese says, interested because I just started playing the remake this week. Oh, I hope you completed it before I dropped that bombshell of his wife. Robotics Death Battle Curse couldn't save F-Zero.
Oh yeah.
It helped Johnny Cage's reputation in turn.
It did. But anyway, so that was the side I wanted to bring up because one, I played Dead Space, and also I'm being cheeky and throwing a second one in because, hey, it's my podcast. I do what the fuck I want. Oh, Jesus Christ, I really am starting to sound like Homelander. But the one character, this is one I actually want, and maybe it's just because I'm very biased to this. I want to see Pain in Death Battle, and I think Death could actually be referring to this character as well. And I already know mate's just like, who?
Well, I know that's a Naruto character.
Oh, now you do. Now, his actual name is Nagato, and if I say it wrong, people, I don't care. Listen, at this point, expect me to say these names wrong.
Pain was a really intimidating villain just because they hyped up the Renegon, which was Pain's big thing.
Yeah. Also, people, you can tell this was a last-minute frame for this podcast because I realised I forgot the image. So deal with the black void that is in the background there. And yes, also for a moment I thought someone put in the chat Pain versus Christmas. I was like, wow, that's mean.
Aang used to have a really older request, oddly enough. I brought up to Billy a long time ago. His older request used to be penance from Marvel.
I mean, Death Battle already has Pain in a way.
Does he mean that in a literal form, or given the characters where it gets really screwy with Pain?
Both.
Yeah, I'm hoping he's doing it in a literal way, which, fair enough, sees for dinner. Now, the whole story about Pain is that, believe it or not, despite his image on screen, he was actually a really nice guy. A Naruto character started off as a nice guy, becoming horrible? Unheard of, I know. So he wanted to bring world peace to the ninja clans. But unfortunately, big shock, all he ever kept seeing was just war and horrors, to the point he just realised his ideals for peace needed a much more crueler type of leader. And yeah, so it not only did he go through a dramatic transformation, he also became more sadistic. He was a lot more carefree, a lot more similar to Jean. He was like a very upbeat person, a really nice guy. And yeah, Charles just said, just like Obito, yeah, just in a similar case, he was a really nice character. And he just became bad. Like, seriously, Naruto has so many characters or villains that you just really didn't want to see become evil. When you know how they became evil, you just feel sorry. Not even like, oh, I understand the mean. You just feel sorry for them. Also, Fireball RKO. Naruto characters starting off as a good and turning villain. Totally unheard of. Yeah, I know, right? And see, Spadina, he has one of the most infamous fight scenes in the anime. He has quite a few great fight scenes. I don't think on the same level as Madara. Like, I feel as though Madara's first introduction is still like peak Naruto villain introductions. But Pain as a character, I could totally see like why people really like him as a villain. I think how they handled his story though wasn't like the ending of his story, you know, typical power of friendship and that shit. I mean, it's anime, you just kind of expect that at this point.
Hey, believe in the power of friendship, yo.
Yeah, I know. But he has a lot of really cool techniques that I can really see being utilized in this fight. But I don't know who I want to see him fight, is the question. Apparently someone from Kingdom Hearts, but I've only played Kingdom Hearts. God, I think I played one on like the DS, but that was like when I was a kid. I barely remember anything. I just remember the Disney characters.
Hey, it's more than I've played.
So, who knows? This could be my introduction to this character. Fuck off, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that name. I'm just reading it. It's like, nah. I'm going to save myself some dignity.
Wait, are you reading from the chat or...
The chat, yeah.
The chat.
Oh, Zenmus.
Show off. But...
What dignity?
Oh, shut the fuck up, Yang. Stop bullying Bill. Hashtag stop the billion. This ain't Among Us.
That was a very second. Burn!
Oh, God, it's better than the duck, I'll take it. But yeah, Pain is someone who I would want to see, and I put on Isaac Clarke again when it comes on screen, just because the next image is going to be Mate. So, well, funny enough, mate. Mate, do you want to do who you think Death is going to be?
Well, okay, so at first I kind of cheated with this because I didn't really have a clear idea because, like, what the Death tarot card actually means. Going through a change, let's be real, that can apply to pretty much most characters in fiction.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So at first I was just going with basically any undead matchup.
Yep, and here's the image I use for it. It's like
Nice.
A confused zombie like, I don't know. Yeah,
So Meg wants to rematch the Chosen Undead. Let's go.
yeah, so yeah, just So here's an idea, mate. How about the Necromorphs from Dead Space versus the Flood from Halo?
Could be a thing. Or maybe Spinal versus Cervantes. Or I can't think of any others off the top of my head.
Yeah, okay,
but whilst I was talking to Bill, one idea hit me.
Oh, yeah?
It was kind of staring me in the face. That was Ghost Rider versus Spawn.
Yeah, honestly, I could totally see that being a thing, and I think didn't we just... No, I think we brought that up in the talk before the live stream, didn't we?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Like, it just hit me today.
Obligatory. Johnny, right? Not Gabriel?
Yeah, not Gabriel. Who wants to see Gabriel's Ghost Rider?
People who like Midnight Suns.
I mean, I like Midnight Suns. I did not like him. I was like, can we get the cooler Ghost Rider, please? Also, Fireball RKO, great image build. Thank you. I just found Confused Zombie, and that was the first image. I was like, that's good enough.
It is a good one.
So, say hello to Undead Jeffrey, people. He's just like, I don't want to be here.
But yeah, that's a fight that I think could fit. Like, both of, transformed both into Ghost Rider and a Hellspawn. So, figuratively and literally, they've gone through change. And it would kind of fit the undead idea I was going with. Plus, it's a highly requested fight, and the team have acknowledged it before. They even made it a community death battle recently. And I remember I was watching Probuscast, oddly enough, when they had the Raptor on. And they brought up a point, like, say they're working on an episode, they'll make it a community death battle and, like, just see how it goes. There's, like, a little, like, tease, like, sort of thing. Because the very same thing happened with Stitch versus Rocket.
Yeah, fair enough.
And a couple other examples.
Well, no wonder I got confused, Robuscus, because Reaper's name is Gabriel Reyes. I got thrown for a loop. I meant Robbie.
Yeah. To be fair, I just assumed his name was Gabriel, so I couldn't give a shit about him to learn his real name.
All I know is Johnny.
Okay, look, people, if you actually do like that Ghost Rider, fair enough, but look, I grew up with Johnny Blaze. Like, I'm sorry, you can't replace the OG. It's like it's kind of like when they always try and replace like Captain America, Spider-Man, and Batman. I'll always like the original better. Like, I like Nightwing, but I will always prefer Bruce Wayne as Batman. Like, it's just my bias. I'm not gonna hide it. I'm biased as fuck. But is that your final say, mate? Shall we move on to what Sean's version of death will be? Man, that sounds kind of messed up out of context.
Oh boy, so the character I chose for death, since death was pulled second, it marks change, the end of something, so that something else may begin. Despite the connotation of death, it's considered a positive card, especially when pulled in the present/second. And I saw something interesting from Z-Dog that made me kind of think of it. The character I thought would represent death was Luz from Owl House.
I'll be honest, I only know about this character from Whiner on Twitter.
I mostly know about this because Z-Dog pushes for it a lot.
Hi, Yang. Thanks for hanging out.
Oh yeah, see you, Yang.
Thanks for joining the stream, Yang. Even though you fucking bullied me 90% of it. She's fun.
So the reason I chose Luz and something Z-Dog said, it's a little spoilerly, I suppose.
I mean,
but the thing is, 3, 2, 1. I believe Z-Dog said, and I quote, that Luz did die, but got a newer transformation and more power because of it. However, it eventually led into something very positive, which is that wholesome relationship ending that they had in the Owl House.
Okay.
And yes, the highly requested opponent for Luz is Anne from Amphibia.
That's a character. I know more about Luz than I know in Amphibia. Though I did kind of watch a little bit of Nostalgia Critics Disney December on it. But I will admit, I was probably editing another video while that was on.
Yeah, and big shocker, Anne goes through the same thing Luz kind of does. So it's fitting in that context too.
Oh, actually, Sean, someone just posted in the chat. Fireball RKO says Luz and Anne was in the Tournament of Champions, wasn't it, though? That's...
Yeah.
And then Starshock replied with, they did say some of the TLC matchups could happen anyway.
I think they could mean that for, like, the season after. Like, a matchup I think...
No,
the
team has said that, like, the Death Battle team has even said that, like, the other idea behind the Tournament of Champions was just to see general interest in certain matchups as well.
Oh, okay.
Just because Tom vs. Wily won doesn't necessarily mean we won't see others by chance.
Oh, so it's like, so maybe, I guess Gru versus Megamind isn't off the table. Matt, wouldn't that be such a twist? Like, or imagine Kratos versus Zora was going against Tom versus Wily, and it still ends up being in the next season. Like,
You never know.
okay, well, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, this could end up being a very dated segment. But there's a few lads content that's very dated these days, so, you know.
Yeah.
And again, just like Ghost Rider versus Spawn, this one is very highly requested. So much so that they've done a community death battle on it. A lot of people have talked interest into doing it, and it was, yes, in the Tournament of Champions as the first matchup introduced. It is that popular.
Yeah. Also, just look at this image I edited for this. I don't know why. Luz just kind of looks like she's an unofficial fourth member of the lads. I guess we
have a better magic user now.
I guess we'll have to be called the lads and lasses. That's actually kind of something I've never thought about. If we did get a female guest, like, would we call that Lads Discuss Death Battle?
That's something for you to figure out.
Yeah, I'm having an existential crisis. Fireball, okay. Still surprised Tom versus Wily won. I'll be honest, I'm not.
I'm happy at one.
After Scooby versus Courage, I think that fueled the hype for that fight.
Yeah, I remember like hearing some people be like, "Oh, why another cartoon fight?" And I'm just like, "Did you not see the last two we just had being like some of the best of the season?"
Yeah. Anyway, Sean, do you have anything else to add for Luz, or should we move on to something you actually brought up for me, Sean, last night while I was editing this? Or maybe it was May. I actually can't remember.
We can move on. We can move on from this one. I think it's like a pretty short, sweet kind of thing.
Hold on, is this?
It really needs some introduction.
Yeah. Okay.
Bill, what you were just talking about, it's not what I was talking about.
Yep.
If all three mean the same thing, is it?
No. Oh wait, actually no. We still got another card to go through. So, god damn. Yeah, we should probably speak.
Yeah, we've still got.
Yeah. So.
I'm tempted to do it. No, we've still got the world. There we go.
Yeah. Okay. So, I will admit though, I forgot to put the third card on screen. But, and also I kind of put it out of order from the lads. So, Sean, do you want to go next?
Oh, the world. It was the final card represented. It means the future, the end of something, though more typically the end of a cycle. And immediately my mind went to Bleach, and I picked Yuak from Bleach.
Yeah. Why is it not changing? There we go.
The cycle, end the cycle like the 1,000-year blood war, perhaps? Or just the cycle of the Soul Society? Yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't know too much about this character. I know he's like one of the big villains next to Aizen, isn't he?
He became the eventual big bad over Aizen, oddly enough. In fact, it took Aizen had to help them beat Yuak. And for those of you who want to know how absolutely powerful it is, you guys, I don't know, they showed the fight recently between him and the Elder Yamato. First of all, it is a stunning visual fight. And literally one tab of Yamato's sword, a giant flame explosion happens from it. And it goes across, I think, like half of the Soul Society, maybe? Oh god, Bill.
Yeah, oops. There's a hint to our third topic,
spoiler
people.
warning.
Yes, Charles, the matchup I had in mind for York was also Kaguya. But she wants to end the war by putting everyone in an infinite genjutsu.
I'll be honest.
Also,
I'm just down for another Bleach character getting in.
Naruto versus. Out of all the like Naruto versus Bleach fights, this one like stands out a lot the most to people. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm pretty sure York wins that.
Yeah, I'm just down for another Bleach character getting in, and hey, I'll get to learn more about another cool anime character. When I was learning about Aizen, he was honestly pretty cool.
Yeah, death can mean a lot of things to different people, but going off that it's the end of a cycle or just yes.
Wait, hold on. We're on the third one, aren't we?
Yeah, we're on the third one.
Yeah, the death card.
No, the
world
one.
card. My bad. The world card. I misread. Yeah, I meant the world.
Cease for dinner. Bakugo jump scare. No, I don't know what you're talking about, Cease for dinner. Nothing.
Everybody run.
Nothing went wrong. No, we're a professional stream.
Yeah, so that's why I kind of chose you out because you know the whole end of the cycle, or whatnot, and the future of what you all wanted. I'm trying to keep it short because I know you guys want to try to speedrun as fast as you can through these, but
luckily,
Ewok versus Kaguya.
Luckily, me and Mate's one is actually the same for the world.
Yeah, and this is my one for thinking all three are teasing the same matchup.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning it, because you never gave me any more. I've been waiting there for hours, like, is Mate going to give me the next characters or what? But, I tell you, Mate, do you want to say the first character, and I'll say the next one?
Alright. So, I'll be honest, when I think tarot cards, one of the franchises I think of is Persona. And, so we're doing this one character at a time thing, right? Aren't we?
Yeah, I was thinking you could say the Persona character like you mentioned. I'll say the next one because I'm more
Okay.
familiar with that character.
Okay, now, while I would obviously much prefer a Persona 4 character, this one is a Persona 5 character, specifically the protagonist, Joker.
And
Wait, I know where this is going.
Versus
I think everyone does.
Giorno. Or however you pronounce that name.
Giorno.
Giorno.
Oh, what do you know? The lad stole the one Sean wanted from last year.
Wait, how can you say the lad stole it?
Copy and paste my homework.
Sean,
Thanks.
you are a lad. You are part of the lads. You can't say the lad stole
the British
something.
stole the Americans' homework.
That's fair enough. I mean, to be fair, that's not inaccurate to our history. English history's fucked. But anyway. Yeah, so I guess this is like the popular title for it. Mate, why don't you talk about Joker?
Okay, so, okay. Spoiler for Persona 5.
Oh, the game's been out for long enough.
Yeah, that's why I said it the way I did. So, Joker here was framed for a crime that he did not commit. He got a criminal record. His school life was kind of messed up, so he got moved to the city where he would spend a year on probation, go to a high school in Tokyo. Oh, the horror.
Joker versus DiGiorno. Let's get it.
And it was during this that he discovered the cognitive world, where he could steal the hearts of really, really messed up people and actually change them. Through the power of his persona and the help of his friends, the Phantom Thieves.
I'll be honest, I can totally see why Joker would fit the world.
Yeah, well, I was also going with, like, this fits all three because, okay, both these two will obviously like, go for a change, so it fits pretty much any character. But how the full fits Joker is, that's his arcana in Persona. Well, I mean, that's the arcana of any protagonist. And correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Giorno related to Dio?
Oh, I was literally about to build up
He's
to
the
that,
son-
you dick. God
Yes,
damn
he's
it.
the son of Dio.
Yes, god damn it.
So his stand is the Waldor. There we go. I had to work it in
No.
there.
Oh, great. When I said, oh, we're both going to talk about this,
I
mate's,
know
just, mate's like, oh, no, I'm going to talk about both characters. Like, oh, I see how it is.
I know it's not. I was just waiting to do it.
Very bitter at the moment. Although, I guess I could say technically he is Jonathan Joestar's biological child because Dio possessed a Jonathan's body. JoJo Bizarre Adventures is, well, bizarre.
Yep.
Also, Starshock said, chat was killing the joke, so don't feel bad. That's not why I feel bad, people. Because I said, oh, me and Bait will both talk about it. He'll talk about Joker, I talk about Giorino. He's just like, nah, I'll take both.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to repeat this one from last year because I would have felt like a cop out.
Yeah, fair enough, I suppose. But yeah, I'm quite surprised how controversial this request is. Like,
Yeah, I'll just say when this
100% of the debate.
when this inevitably happens, I'm staying out of like comment sections or like any debate discussions outside of this. Because I've heard that this can get pretty toxic. Well, maybe not toxic, but heated.
let's be real here. Every death battle gets toxic in some way.
True.
But, although, speaking of toxic, though, is that a good way to segue into the teaser Mate brought up? And before people say, we will talk about Tom versus Wiley, but we just want to talk about the hints, because it feels like more interesting. So, Mate pointed out that, although, funny enough, a comment did come out underneath my Galactus versus Unicron prediction. Yeah, there was actually far more hints that we missed out on, but we've nearly been talking about this for an hour. So.
Was it Robert's comment?
Yeah, so shout out to you, Robert. But yeah, but we want to specifically talk about this because I feel like we could contribute more to these factors, and plus we won't go on for any longer. People, we have a lads debate to discuss. But so yeah, the next fight, one of the fights that was hinted was Family Feud.
Yeah, well, I don't know about hinted, but like the logo for Family Feud was shown briefly.
Yeah, which I would have shown on screen, but it was nearly 2 a.m. when I was editing this podcast, so I did not want to add in anymore. So I went out of order again. It's going to be Mate, Sean, and me as we give our ideas for the Family Feud. So, Mate, what is your Family Feud idea?
Well, I was just thinking, okay, so death battle between families, essentially. And first one that came to my mind was I don't necessarily expect this and a previous idea to happen in the same season. I'm kind of just throwing things out there for the hell of it. Ruby TMNT.
I'll be honest, that was actually the matchup I thought that was going to be your main focus. That's why I edited for the podcast. So you're telling me I spent nearly half an hour trying to fit in both teams into a thumbnail, and that's not your main topic? You know, that was the first thing you brought up.
No, that is what I think it could be. I'm just saying I don't expect that and Jean versus Soccer in the same season.
Okay then. Fair enough. I was about to say, like, hold the fuck on. You're telling me I spent 8... Do you know how hard it was to get them all fitting on screen? That looked pretty good.
Oh no, I know that pain.
But, I will admit, this matchup is growing on me, just due to the fact that, you know, both these teams, when they're together, they could be pretty OP. Robert did say Peter Grimm versus Homer Simpson. I mean, Sean did say that they could do champion fights next year as well, so who knows, maybe that could also be the case. I'll be honest, I am definitely interested in seeing this. These both are like drastically different type of characters, but then when you actually go into like stat-wise, like it's going to be interesting because they could do it like, okay, which TMNT could beat this character, then which Ruby character could beat this character more. So it could be like something like that, similar to like Pokemon versus Digimon. Oh no, just a Pokemon Battle Royale where it was like, oh, they did a percentage, like which one would beat the other better. So it would be interesting. Though I know you've talked about this in the past though, but here's a unique question I will ask for both of you. Who would you guys say would be which member of Team Ruby would give TMNT the hardest fight and vice versa? So, mate, who would you say would give...
fight, eh?
Yeah, so, mate, who would you say would give the TMNT a harder fight?
That is a tough question, to be honest.
I would post my vote on Yang. Like, it's been stated, Yang is the physically strongest and better fighter of the four, so... I would say Yang would probably be able to give... And plus, she has more destructive firepower behind her side.
Yeah. The thing is, my thought is also Weiss is basically the ultimate support class in this as well.
I mean, Weiss says best girl, fight me. So, but I think because she's had a bigger lose streak than Team Ruby, like most of the other teams... I would honestly say Yang would be the big fight. Also, Robert says, I'd say either Ruby or Yang. I think Ruby offers like a strategic side. She is the best leader of the team. So, I could see that. So, I say Yang, Mate says Weiss. Sean, who would you say would give, like, which member of Team Ruby would give the TMNT a harder fight?
Definitely Weiss.
Oh, okay.
Looking at it, not because of the whole support class thing. If anything, she's comparable to Life Weaver. The losing streak she's been on.
Yeah, I mean, as someone who's a Weiss fanboy, I would defend that, but it's like, nah, she gets her ass handed a lot.
My logic is this. They've dealt with very stealthy characters like Blake before. They've dealt with people who are insanely fast like Ruby before. They've dealt with Juggernauts before, but they haven't dealt really with someone like Weiss and her abilities to change just on the fly thanks to her weapon. Time dilation is something they really haven't gone up against either.
True, actually.
And they don't really fight anyone who uses a fencing fighting style.
Okay.
Which, let me remind you, Weiss could cast time dilation on either herself or any of the other girls.
True.
And the thing also is it's a specific weapon counter to Raphael. Sais are typically made for sabers. Rapiers are very thin, so they are made to get around Sais very easily.
Ah, okay. That's actually a pretty clever argument. Alright, but...
Ruby has a semblance. She could potentially carry all four TMNT in one sweep.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I'm still...
That's something I've wondered with Ruby's semblance. Like, given the explanation on how it works, couldn't she just, like, break down someone and choose to not reform them?
I don't think she knows how to use her powers to that extent. I think it's just more so like a Dishonored like teleportation thing in a way where they just materialize and then once she stops using it, they go back to normal again. At least that's how it sounded
probably.
like. It sounds like that's how Penny described it. But I tell you what, let's speed through this and then we'll get to Sean's one. So here's a question: who on the TMNT side would give the hardest fight for Ruby? And I'm gonna let Mate go first and Sean because I'm gonna throw you guys off.
You're gonna say Mikey, aren't you?
Fuck you. But yes, I was going to say Michelangelo.
Was that Mate's pick?
I remember actually being told by a friend that he believes that if they went like completely serious, Mikey actually should have won the Battle Royale.
Actually, do you know what's funny? Yeah,
That's his words. Just throwing it out there.
No, actually, that was said by Splinter as well. He said, like, if Michelangelo was more serious, like Leonardo, he would be the most dangerous TMNT in the team. And yeah, I don't actually want to say it because there is a comic series that did prove that. I don't want to say that did prove that because it's a really good comic series. Cease Medina, Mikey, yeah, baby. Robert says Leo. So, mate, who would you say would give Team Ruby the hardest fight out of the TMNT?
Okay, aside from Mikey, I would say either probably Raph or Leo.
Okay. Robert also seems to say Raph and Leo as well, so I guess you're not alone in that. You mean that one? Yeah, Starshog. I think you know which one I'm talking about. Yes. It's a really good TMNT comic series. I don't want to say because it kind of spoils it, but if you know, you know.
I know what comic you're talking about, too.
And Robert says never mess with nunchucks. No, given the fact Michelangelo's the most complicated weapon as well, like, he could really... Like, his weapon can actually be the thing that stops, Ruby and Weiss's weapon. Like, it's that effective as, like, a multi-tool weapon. Also, Proboscis point said even if Ruby could break down someone, she hasn't shown that she knows how or she would in character. Honestly, yeah, I could see that.
That's true too. I remember I was also thinking that could just be a way to end Salem.
Yeah, I doubt her power works like that, because otherwise she would be more OP than how she is in the show. Alright, so Sean, have you said your team?
I have not.
Yeah, so who would you say would give them the hardest fight?
Donatello.
Really? Okay.
Donatello is easily smarter than all of Team Ruby. He's got so many gadgets at his disposal, and he can process information and adjust to the fight quite easily, honestly, with his superior intelligence out of all the turtles.
I think I can only see Donatello really being more of a matchup for Blake, because his combat is meant to fight off, like, her type of weaponry, katanas. But I think against a scythe, saber, or fist, I don't think Donatello's...
Hey, Proboscis, thanks. Proboscis, thanks. Donnie could be a major threat if they include Rise of TMNT weapons. Donnie's staff is really damn versatile.
Oh, yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah, Rise of TMNT did give them a massive buff. Donatello does machines, that's a fact. Yeah, I mean, I take him all back. Donatello sweeps, he does machines. Though Michelangelo's the party dude.
Thanks,
right.
Proboscis.
Okay, I can see that, but again, I don't want to spoil why I think Michelangelo, but let's just say, don't fuck with Michelangelo. And funny enough,
that total needs a run back more than anyone.
Yeah, Reese also mentioned, yeah, can't wait for another project that's in the works for you know what. Yes. Again, this is like one of the comic I'm referencing is a comic I never spoil because it's that good. So people, just look up TMNT comic books and just read all of them until you get to the one.
Oh, don't worry, Chad. I'll say what it is right now. It's
yes.
There you go.
The duck saved the day. All right, but it seems like people are pretty split on TMNT. Most people seem to say either Yang or Ruby mostly, but many are actually kind of conflicted on the TMNTs. Each one is kind of versatile in their own way in the TMNT. So it's definitely firing up my hype for this matchup, because that's what's really interesting about who could give the other side more of a fight. So yeah, I do hope this is the Family Feud one. Plus, it would be kind of weird though that Ruby's debut in Death Battle is with her teammates and not against her most wanted.
Well, her confirmed episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why I'm trying to be secret. It's like, yeah, I think most people know what it is. But anyway, though, let's move on to Sean's Family Feud choice. And again, it's another Naruto matchup, isn't it?
Yes, I took the concept of it as like characters who have typically feuded with their own family in their shows. And my pick was Itachi Uchiha.
Also, when the image comes on screen, I want to hear May and Sean's reaction to it, because I had to use this image when it's this character. Also, Charles, there's Family Feud, Steve Harvey. I think I know which one. Versus, what's that? The heart is in the way. Versus
Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil. Oh, wow, could you imagine?
Yep, Itachi Uchiha.
Yeah, I had to use this meme when Sean suggested it to me.
I sent you the gif of this very scene.
I know, come on, it's iconic.
So, it was Setaway 2 I had with the Family Feud in a weird way, but it relates to another hidden in the trailer for the second one. But I figured Itachi popped immediately because one of the biggest side arcs was Itachi versus Sasuke.
Honestly, underrated villain.
It's Naruto.
He is the most underrated villain in my opinion. Like, I can't remember which story arc it was. Like, his whole speech about reality and the concept of it was so even in English dub, like Naruto's villains in English dub, I think sound better than the Japanese one. The meme. Yeah.
Oh, there's two Itachi matchups that actually fit the concept of Family Feud. One of which was in my video, which was Itachi versus The Undertaker from WWE. So you could get a wrestling thing because of his Family Feud with Kane.
Why not? I'll be down for that 100%.
Well, that'd be an excuse to get Kier back.
True.
Unless it's
or
another
if you want the less funny one.
Unless we get another Doctor Who matchup, and maybe he won't spend nearly an hour just talking about the Doctor Who story. See, this is why we need a shots fired soundboard.
Yes, it's Crispin Freeman. But there is another one. It's not as, funny as Itachi versus Undertaker, but it also makes sense. It's Byakuya Kuchiki from Bleach because of his rivalry with Rukia.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And how he was the one who got sent specifically to go capture her.
Also, oh my god, the lad's curse is starting to get a bit too much. C. Spadina just said, off topic, I purchased Doctor Who 60th Anniversary Special DVD. After I just made that Kier Doctor Who joke.
Yes.
Can the lad's curse just stop for 10 seconds, please?
No.
Wait a minute.
In which case, can I abuse the lad's curse to hope things work out okay in various things?
Yeah, why not? I mean, I was going to say, wait, lad's curse. Man, wouldn't it be crazy if I just got 20 million views right now? Damn it.
Damn.
It's like the ocean in
I figured
Moana. It doesn't help you, it only helps itself.
I figured Itachi made the most sense for this one. And honestly, you could go with either matchup I'd be happy with because I think Itachi's a really cool villain.
Oh, Itachi's so cool, man. Also, just his fight against Sasuke, don't get me wrong, when Naruto uses techniques and their tailed beast, that's cool, but I don't think Naruto gets enough credit for its hand-to-hand combat fights, because I'm going to say this, it's way better than Dragon Balls.
As you want, Starshock, here's the funny thing. While I do like Naruto versus Bleach, I kind of prefer Itachi versus Undertaker for comedy and it being more focused, kind of like illusion and fake out kind of fight.
Yeah. I wasn't going to say it, but then I saw Starshock's comment.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, when it comes
I do
to
prefer
Naruto,
Itachi versus Undertaker.
Naruto and Bleach just has that rivalry.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
It's like Marvel and DC. It does make it special, though, when you eventually do get those, unique ones, Obi-Wan versus, Kakashi. It's very... when you get matchup, or Obito versus Darth Vader, I didn't think they would actually do that fight, but here we are.
Naruto versus Luffy, when?
Yeah, I feel like that's got to happen soon. Hell, that was sponsored by One Piece.
Apparently.
I think they've actually said they just want to put Luffy in an episode already. They're tired of waiting for him.
Please, not Plastic Man. That's all I'm asking. Don't get me wrong, Plastic Man is awesome, and he is OP as fuck. Yes, even Superman and Martian Manhunter say he is too OP for them. Which really puts into perspective how powerful he is. But please.
It just reminds me, I think I've showed Bill this. I showed Bill this short, and it's the scene where they're fighting Deadshot, and Deadshot has a gun, and the gun turns out to be Plastic Man, and Plastic Man just goes, bang!
Yeah, or how about that time he managed to paralyze the Flash by making his fingers so tiny they hit his brain by going up his nose. Or how about Amazo, that really overpowered villain that has all the powers of justice? He just did the Ant-Man technique on him. Yeah, he actually did it. It's like...
Yeah, that is my pick for Family Feud, Itachi.
Right then.
Sorry, I just read Fireball's comment.
Oh, what did Fireball say? All I would say for Undertaker's run now, Revson, my god, he's broken in half, thanks, JR. Oh my god.
Yeah, that matchup would be referenced quite a bit. I don't know if you lads have ever seen it.
No, I've heard the audio. Thank you, Little Karibo.
C-Spin and Luffy versus Captain Marvel is dead. No, Luffy versus Naruto, man. That's the one. Plastic Man versus Thanos when? Who can go up whose ass first?
No, what they could do is just It's just be like Vanos goes to snap, and then it's just like snap, snap, snap. Shut up! No, punch.
The gems are just plastic, man. Oh god. But okay, we've kind of delayed this for a long time, so how about we actually? Oh well, I guess I need to say my family feud. I'll be quick about it. I think it's Among Us versus Fall Guys. Because how much feud is in these games?
You know what? True.
Especially when future
like
lads, well, I guess lads and bro Among Us video comes out soon, which we'll see when that video comes out if the lads stick together after that episode. Spoiler
Oh,
alert.
I know. I remember what you're talking about.
Spoiler alert, yes, the lads are still going to be around for season 3. Don't worry, people. Well, actually, what season of lads are we on now? I've forgotten. Season 4 now, right?
So yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But yeah, I could see this happening. I could be wrong, but let's actually get to the matchup, which I know a lot of you have been waiting for us to talk about. Wile E. Coyote versus Tom.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's happening, baby.
Yes. Okay, and so first of all, these cartoons are the goats. Like they.
I wish I could share that edit I made.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It was in the meme of the day for lads.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, Wile E. Coyote versus Tom. In fact, it looks like Tom is kind of eating Sean's head in his edit. I never realised that. It wouldn't be the first time a lads on the podcast got eaten. I'm still recovering from what I saw last time.
Wow, that's the third gripe I now have with this matchup.
Oh god, yeah. Sean was not happy this one.
Well, I say gripes because it's in the joking way, chat. Because this matchup, when I did the skit for it, it got me age restricted.
Yep. Wow.
The gag
That's
for this
ironic.
was supposed to be, since these characters don't talk, I was supposed to make dialogue from signs. And this matchup specifically got me age restricted.
Wow.
You didn't hold up a fist and move it back and forth a bunch, did you?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, in case you don't know, that means wanker. CP versus community, that's what wanker means.
Oh god, don't remind me of that.
I'm pretty sure these are American shows, not British, sadly.
Also, Robert Curley said, I swear Scooby versus Courage sabotaged the tournament champion. I 100% believe that.
To be fair, you can blame it for the reason Kratos versus Asura and Tom versus Wile is in the finale, because guess what? Kratos versus Asura was referenced in Scooby versus Courage.
True. In fact, Sean, you might be surprisingly, it seems as though most people in the chat were, well, except for the comment that just came in, were more wanting Kratos versus Azora. Which, to be fair,
Thank you.
I've wanted to see Azora in Death Battle for so long. I remember years ago I did when I used to do those animations, I did Vegeta versus Azora. Don't watch that video. I hate it. Never watch it. In fact, good luck finding it. That's all I'm saying.
See, I said I wanted Kratos or Asura back in the topic we talked about season 1 comebacks. Me and Richard both picked Kratos. His preferred was Dante. Mine was Asura.
I don't like Kratos versus Dante, really. It's like, what's the theme? Oh, they're both hack and slash characters. Okay, then let me pull
Here's
up
the
all
thing
these
with
other
that
characters
one.
that hack and slash.
If it's old Kratos, you can make it work with Dante. New Kratos fits Asura so well.
Yeah. No spoilers about Ragnarok, so I have not finished it, nor do I know what happens in Valhalla, which I definitely want to play at some point for the channel.
I mean, just 4 alone is kind of like what sparked the matchup, actually. Like, when Kratos returned, it kind of like sparked the interest in that one.
Robert Curley now just said, now people are going to go and find and watch it, Bill. Good luck trying to find that old animation. Trust me, just similar to Ghost Rider versus...
I think Yang probably has it on their channel.
Right then, well, I need to hit a copyright strike on Yang the Insane. That video needs to burn. But, yeah, honestly, I just want Azora and Death Battle. It's a really underappreciated Capcom IP. Now, yes, it's not really a full-on game, really. There are a lot of quick-time events. Like, a lot. I think when I was watching a Let's Play of it in the hypes of, like, this matchup, I was just thinking, like, you know, this feels more like a It's funny how this game doesn't get criticized for so many crit time events, yet Spider-Man 2 does. Even though I feel as though you can play more Spider-Man 2 than Azora.
Honestly, with Wily versus Tom overall, a lot of people obviously want another cartoon fight with all the wacky shenanigans.
Yeah. Also, Robert Curley, oh yeah, you angry, Bill? Yang Insane, is that just an alternative account? Did you just leave and you just made another account just to taunt me?
Wait.
In fact, this whole time, has your real name been Robert and I just never knew?
Anyway, so we're finally getting Looney Tunes.
About time.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're getting Tom and Jerry.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's no spoiler.
I'm actually kind of amazed our first Looney Tune is Wily and not Bugs.
True, actually.
Or Daffy.
Actually, no. It makes sense why Wily would be the
both
first
of
one.
them copyright.
I think it makes sense for Wily, actually, because his skits against Roadrunner are the most watched Looney Tunes gags on YouTube. And there's a reason why. They're just so fucking hilarious. Just seeing this one guy trying to catch this Roadrunner, and he just fails miserably. My favourite one is the iconic, he has a slingshot on a rock, he fires it in the air, and it just doesn't even move forward, it just crushes him. Or the catapult one. Like, he just flings him into the ground. Like, just poof. And if you've seen many... This is a gag that has been used so much. When he's standing on nothing, and he just holds up a sign going, uh-oh, and just falls. Like, every cartoon has copied that. Hell, Family Guy...
as he's falling, he just pulls out a tiny umbrella, but it doesn't work.
Oh God, yeah. Giant boulder, and he's just there like...
When he paints a wall, Roadrunner runs through it, then when he tries it, he goes face first.
Or he tries it, and a goddamn lorry just comes out of it and runs him over.
Oh, seriously, man. Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner cartoons are the best. Like, I love Looney Tunes, all their characters for their dialogue. Still my favourite one is the rabbit season, duck season, where Bug goes, duck season, Daffy, rabbit season, duck season, fire, boom.
Which escalated to Bugs just going, rabbit, duck, fire!
Oh God, yeah. Seriously, man. Looney Tunes is peak cartoons. Like,
and by the way, Robert, I remember seeing that one too, where it was Wily and Bugs. And in that one, Wily could talk.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. That's... I don't like that.
It's weird, right?
I think Wily's funnier when he doesn't talk. Like, when he's just standing over a ledge and he just looks at the camera and just holds up a sign that goes, help. Like, that's funny enough. If he just looked and went, help, that's not as funny. Like, also, Proboscis just posted here. Here's a thought. This match is where someone accidentally killing themselves is a genuine win con for their opponent. Honestly,
oh, God.
I would love that. But yeah, with...
I think I remember seeing somewhere that Wily has, like, an anti-Toon Force weapon.
Yeah. In fact, the other thing about him as well, his healing factor's kind of canon. So every time he gets disintegrated, he canonically heals himself. Which, you know, I guess that's not too surprising after Scooby-Doo versus Courage. But, oh God, I remember in the new Space Jam movie, he was chasing Roadrunner on the set of Mad Max Fury Road. Which, honestly, I could not think of a more fitting chase area for those two. But, yeah, I think I haven't seen the newer Looney Tunes, but I think they do have some Roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote stuff in that. But the classic will always be the better one. Like, just the many... It's just always funny to see these amazing contraptions just get thwarted all because of his incompetence. Roadrunner never interferes with these traps. Roadrunner runs through them, or he's even on... He's literally there in the center of the trap. But because of Wile E. Coyote's fuck-ups, it doesn't work. Like, I don't remember there's ever been a
Wily's thing is anti-Looney. Tom isn't a Looney Tune.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
But But yeah, that's what I've always loved about Roadrunner versus Wily, is that Wily's traps have never been thwarted. He's just stupid.
Actually, Bill, have you ever seen that Seth MacFarlane animation where Wily actually catches Roadrunner?
I did, but I think the joke kind of went... I wouldn't say too far, it just kind of dragged on a bit. And even the final... It's like, I think it would have been funnier if he just like, so, like, the whole joke of that scene is like, oh, he finally caught him, he's all happy, he's eating dinner with his friend. He's like, so what are you going to do now? He's like, oh, I don't know. And then it just shows a montage of him losing, I don't know, just getting depressed. It's like, it would have been funny if it was just him sat on the sofa just eating, like, he's just done. And it just cuts to the next thing. It's like, oh, he did it.
Yeah.
Or maybe he'll just say something like, well, I mean, my species eat Roadrunner, so I guess I'll go chase the next one. It's like, that's kind of what we do. And he just goes, oh, yeah. He's been doing it, but he's a super genius. He's clever at building the traps. He's not good in his executions. Starshot also said a lot of Seth jokes draw out a bit too long. Okay, I want to kind of correct that.
Yeah, although I think like the comedy of that is it's supposed to waste the viewer's time.
Was that?
I remember seeing a video where they talk about that.
Okay, then that's shit writers then. But I also want to correct that, Starshock. When Seth actually gets to fully write,
I'll be right back.
No problem. When Seth actually gets to write an episode, he's really good. Like, the original Johnny Bravo cartoons, he wrote them, and they are hilarious. And original Family Guy season 1 to 4, like, he wrote a majority of the episodes, and they were hilarious. It's just, now he just voices Family Guy. He doesn't write any episodes. So, but when you look at other stuff like Ted, that's pretty funny. I mean, in my opinion, I think it's funny. Like, the only thing I can really say Seth has written that wasn't good was his, what was that cowboy film called, Sean? Do you know it?
The cowboy thing?
Yeah, there was like a Seth MacFarlane cowboy...
Wasn't that thing that they made... I forget, because I think they might have made fun of it on a Family Guy episode.
Yeah, they probably have. He peaked in the 90s. Do you not know, there's another show he's recently doing, Cease for Dinner, called Orville, which is like a Star Trek sort of parody show. It is really good. It's on Disney Plus, I think. Give it a watch. This whole section has just been me defending Seth MacFarlane right now. But yeah, watch it. It's really good. But I guess for now we should probably talk about Tom.
Oh boy, the cat who always seems to barely get a dub.
Yeah, well, he does have a few wins in his condition, which could tie into who I think wins. So, Tom and Jerry.
That's why I said rarely gets a win.
He does occasionally, though, but yeah. Tom from Tom and Jerry. Let's just say there are some Tom and Jerry episodes that don't hold up because there's a lot of... It was made in the 40s, people. So there might be some things that don't hold up now. But as for Tom... Yeah, similar to Wile E. Coyote, he seems to be really good at making traps. But unlike Roadrunner, Jerry actually thwarts his plans. Because these plans could work, but Jerry always outsmarts him. I think one of my favourite moments, and I remember seeing this in Nostalgia Critic video a few months ago, when he's trying to use a bear trap on Jerry's house, puts it into his house, but then Jerry pushes it out the back hole, and Tom sits in it and just launches him up to the ceiling, and you just see him squirming as the bear trap's in his butt.
Jesus Christ.
He's just there like, ow, ow, oh. Because, yeah, bear trap would fucking hurt.
No, here's a thought for when that happens. Will they get a voice actor to do screams for Tom, or will they just use stock audio?
I mean, Multiverse has used stock audio. They have to do that long scream though. The, ah!
Oh, the ah! I can't really do it, but
God, if you
or
want...
the oh, that one.
Yeah. I thought you were about to do the goofy scream because that's kind of what you were starting to sound like. I was like, wrong animal. But yeah, like also
No,
fine,
Goofy is more like yeah.
Oh, trust me, I know that sound effect. But yeah, like by the way, mate, hey, welcome back.
Hey.
In fact, this is kind of like another episode. I was actually talking about this with Yangi and Zane, funny enough. We were talking about favorite Tom wins. And I remember the one where he got so much money, but the catch was he had to never hurt Jerry. But Jerry was being such a dick to the point.
Oh, this.
Tom tore up the contract, and Jerry's like, wait, hold on. Tries to put it back together. Tom shoves it down his mouth, tries to squash him, and goes, he actually speaks. He goes, gee, I'm throwing away $1 million, but I'm happy! And just starts trying to crush Jerry. Which, fun fact, people, that episode's banned in the UK.
Oh,
Damn.
really?
Oh, no. Try and take a guess at why it was banned in the UK.
I feel like I shouldn't, although I also don't remember the skit that well. So for me in England, it's been
Yeah,
well over a decade since I've last watched Tom and Jerry.
Okay, well, then I'll say that. Is it because of racism? No. Is it because Tom smokes? Nope. Is it because of mouse abuse? Nope. Is because of money problems. Because the movie's basically trying to make it seem like rich is the happiness. But here's the thing that's ironic. Tom gave up being rich for happiness. So it's like, wait, you're saying this episode's promoted why being rich is good, so you banned it. However, the end of the episode is literally Tom saying, I'm throwing away my money, but I am happy. Like, yeah, the whole...
You Brit.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, like, the particular faces that Tom and Jerry's done, again, this is the 40s, people. Yeah, ban, or just cut out those moments, because they're not funny, they're just downright offensive. Yeah, people in the chat are like, what?
You know, I kind of want to see if chat will get this. Bill, the moment you mentioned that Tom smokes, I'm just reminded of that clip where someone does a bunch of improv and it ends it with, howdy, bitch.
Okay. But yeah, the thing I love about Tom as well is that there's also a few episodes where he does talk, but it's never consistent. Like, I remember one of the funniest ones with his owner was in bed and I think he drank some like alcoholic medicine to the point he snuck into a room and was just like having like a drunken little like speech towards her while he's about to ready to throw some jug of water on her.
Jesus Christ.
Or what about my favourite moment? I can't remember the name of this lady, the original owner of Tom. It was like this black lady. There was a moment Tom's throwing a party. Jerry snitched on him. She runs back to the house, smashes through the house door, and Tom opens the door. She goes, Thomas! He slams the door, but her hand is still there as the door shuts on her.
Yeah, I remember that.
To the point...
I love cartoons.
Oh my god. Tom and Jerry has some of the best slapstick. Like, next to Wile E. Coyote, but Tom and Jerry... If it wasn't for Tom's screams of agony, and obviously the animation... Like, another one was when Jerry tricked him when he was a lifeguard and he pretended like this woman was drowning. He jumps over to dive in, cracks his head on like the wooden like pillar, and he's just there like in pain. Doesn't scream, but he just falls into the water and he's just there floating. Yes, see there, Mammy Two Shoes. Oh my god, yeah, yeah, maybe they shouldn't have called her that. Oh my god. Yeah, he was drunk for most of the cartoon. Honestly, that's kind of true. They managed to get away with a lot of stuff in the 40s. It's crazy. But as who I think wins this, I'm putting my money on Tom. Because unlike Wile E. Coyote, Tom's actually got a few wins. And while he has canonically died, he's also just come back because, you know, cartoons.
Toon Force.
Yeah. And I highly doubt they're going to bring in Looney Tunes, like, you know, that edgy cartoon. I mean, I would love if they reference that underrated cartoon, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I definitely think Tom wins this.
I mean, Wily's universe also just kind of bends to make him fail.
What? Really? That is sad. Jesus, Archie Sonic has the universe bend to him, except for Wally. But damn, that's
also
sad.
there is an episode I remember where Tom quote unquote dies. He ends up going to hell by the end, but it's revealed to be a dream.
Oh yeah, that was a dream sequence. I mean, there was one where he got his head chopped off, but it's never shown he died in that. It just showed the, you know, the old, what's it called? It's not a what? Is that a Hwacha? I can't remember.
Oh,
guillotine.
The guillotine one?
Guillotine, yeah.
Yeah, the guillotine.
Which by
it's
the
the
way,
one where they're in France.
Yeah, that was a dark episode though.
If I hear one more sound, off comes your head. Comprende?
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. But that version of Tom ends up coming back in a later episode, so I guess they put his head back on and said, "Don't do that again," and he's just like saluting. I mean, because Tom's come back from nothing before, so who's to say a head decapitation would kill him? It doesn't make sense, really. It's like, I could be disintegrated to nothing. Oh, but you chopped off my head. No, my weakness. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. But who do you guys say wins this fight?
I kind of want to say Tom, but at the same time, like, whoever wins, like, just give me a fun episode. Just make me laugh.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
If this episode isn't funny, there's going to be backlash.
I don't know, honestly. I really don't.
I'm
gonna probably dive deeper into it, like when it comes like around to actually talk about it.
I mean, I'm gonna hold up my hand. I'm even gonna say on the live stream. Yeah, I want to represent Wile E. Coyote. That's my man. That's who I'm representing. Besides, if a British person talking about Tom and Jerry, I'm gonna get censored.
At this point, you might as well say it's Toon Force. I ain't gonna explain shit.
Man, the shortest lads debate ever. Toon Force don't explain shit, and it just cuts to my outro. But hey,
the winner is Toon Force.
Yeah. So, although funny enough with our lads debate, is that a good segue into our third topic?
I think so.
Yep.
Right then, people. By popular demand, and by that I mean only 2 people in our comments wanted it. But this is also wanted by Sean. We are finally doing Bakugo versus Yang Xiaolong, but with a twist. It is Jump Force Bakugo versus Blaze Blue Yang Xiaolong, and I am never researching Blaze Blue again.
Now you know Nick Kramer's pain.
I've just looked through so many wikis, like, I don't know why I chose this. Why couldn't we do their official counterparts?
Because that's something that's been done multiple times on other shows.
I know.
And also, to be fair, this is our first ever lads debate. That is a fan request we're doing.
I know. Why didn't we do Ryder versus freaking Cole? Starshot. Oh, it's not that hard. You don't know. You don't know. All right. Well.
Also, for people wanting to know, Sean, why did you want this? Is Bakugo your favorite character in the game? No, I'm a former Jump Force YouTuber.
Yep. And to answer the question, why am I representing Yang Xiaolong for Blaze Blue? I used to be a Yang fan, but now I'm more of a Weiss fan. But I figured, similar with Sean going back to his roots with Jump Force, I thought, hey, you know what, fuck it, why not? Go back to my roots of Yang. So there's kind of a theme to it. But as of now, which I'm about to post now, you can post your vote in the community tab when it loads.
Oh, hang on.
No, I'm putting it
Oh,
on.
community
But,
poll. I was gonna
yeah.
say,
So
if you're doing a poll in the chat, you can do a prediction poll, and then we can do an official poll.
no, I'll put it on there
But community
now.
tab works.
Yeah, I'll put it on there now. Like, it's in the community chat now, so people can vote now. I'm not going to see what it is, so you guys better not peek. So once the debate between me and Sean is done, I will look at what it says for who people go for. But really, as harsh it is to say, people, similar to Death Battle, regardless of what the majority is, mate is the deciding vote in this fight. So whoever...
Yeah, kind of similar to last year's finale of Nora versus Reinhardt.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that's still one of the most fun debates I think we've ever done.
Yeah. So, because we delayed this stream a bit, we're going to be kind of rushing through, like, we're going to do 10 minutes for Bakugo, 10 minutes for Yang, 15-minute debate, and then Mate's going to go with his, well, not just prediction, he's going to go with his verdict.
Yeah. Well, so you guys are going to have to convince me.
Yeah, because if we just went by the original show, it's a lot more even. I think with this, though, it's still relatively even, because the difference here is we're going to be scaling them to...
the wall.
We're going to be scaling these guys to some crazy people. Because the other thing as well, like, oh, but these guys weren't in the story mode. They were DLC, though, so whoever they can fight... It's...
Actually, Yang does show up in the story mode.
She shows up, but she's not playable. She's a DLC, technically.
Yeah, but you can fight her in one instance.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, the point is,
and
though...
there are story modes. There are story missions with the DLC characters as they are also introduced.
Okay, fair. Okay, so my whole point... But basically, they're both DLC characters. I mean, one of them's free, so one of them already has that going for them. Which kind of is really confusing why they did that. So, but anyway, though. So since this is Bakugo, Sean, you have the floor. Also, now that I look at this image, even though I say Sean's representing Bakugo, it looks like I'm representing him.
Kind of.
Yeah.
God damn it, Billy.
Oops there. But yeah.
No.
Let's go. You got 10 minutes. Mate, are you starting the timer?
And go.
Most people are familiar with the world of My Hero Academia, with quirks being kind of like mutations to the X-Men. One of the many characters we are introduced to is Katsuki Bakugo, rival to Izuku Midoriya / Deku. The two have been fighting over bullying issues to start off, because I'll admit Bakugo was a bully, but over time he kind of got a redemption arc according to a lot of fans over the past couple chapters. I almost said novels, my bad. And eventually, I believe Deku eventually did forgive Bakugo after a big heart-to-heart. But Bakugo is not only well known for his short temper, his explosive sweat. No, really, it's explosive sweat. Where he can make explosions appear. And fun fact, when they were going to choose a hero name, Bakugo was not his original choice. It was, I believe, King Explosion Murder. But obviously you can't do that.
You know, Yang cringed at Superman's name. I wonder what she would say to that if that was his name.
She'd be like, dude, that's too dramatic.
My reaction was, wow, you made Dark King Fu, the artificial bio-android demon mutant, sound cool.
So, Bakugo became a DLC character for the game of Jump Force. Jump Force's story, for those of you who may not remember it, was quite simple. Your universe is under attack by different anime villains. The first one you encounter is Frieza. And Frieza, spoiler in 3, 2, 1, kills you. The protagonist. Except you're magically resurrected by the Umbra Cube, which turned out to be the creation of a bunch of different characters in the show. Specifically the leader of Jump Force. The Jump Force are an elite task force of different shonen anime characters from their own universes that are in the same area because of the worlds being merged together by the big bad. Eventually, it is found out that they were signs that Bakugo has made it into the merged universe. So looking for him was Izuku Midoriya and Frieza. You can probably guess who found him first. However, unlike the story mode where you get corrupted, where characters get corrupted by, I believe they're called dark cubes, Bakugo actually fights alongside Deku to take on Frieza. And after the fight, Deku explains the situation to Bakugo, and Bakugo is recruited onto Jump Force. Along with other refs from My Hero Academia that we are familiar, like Shoto Todoroki. Yes, I know he came later, but he counts, god damn it. And All Might. So many different shonen characters have appeared, from original characters, Dragon Ball characters, One Piece, JoJo, Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho even has been in here, and even City Hunter? Don't question it. Their job was to stop whoever the big bad was, to prevent the destruction from all the universes and dimensions. Which turns out, in a oh so obvious plot twist, it was actually the leader of Jump Force, secretly disguised as Prometheus. Prometheus used the power of the Black Book to harness the power of all the universes and use them against the world. However, you, the protagonist, get to learn different abilities from all these characters. You get to learn Bakugo's abilities as well. Certain abilities because of game mechanics, of course. Not every single character's ability you can learn. Otherwise, that'd be really, really broken. For Bakugo, he's typically more of a rushdown character, rushing you down with high-octane combos, hitting you for fire damage with his certain attacks, and even has defense stats. Yes, Jump Force has stats. I wasn't sure how we were going to play that out in the game, but each character does have different stats and resistances. So, can we pause the timer real quick and discuss how you want to handle that?
Pause.
I mean, I just imagine we were just going to accept any feat of characters they've fought and what abilities they've countered in Jump Force, really.
Right.
Like, whatever they
And
can
the thing is,
counter
like,
within the
character-
fight, I think it counts.
Yeah, each character has like different resistances and different elemental types they can resist or do extra damage with, basically.
Yeah.
So is that fair game?
I'm down.
Nate, you're the judge.
I mean, if you and Bill are down for it, then yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and
so
resume.
we can resume the timer. So Bakugo was given so many different resistances. While fighting and slashing attacks are somewhat of a weakness, turns out he's protected by different projectiles. You might be asking, what kind of projectiles are we talking about? Different ones from Nen, Ki, spiritual energy, bullets, and what I can basically describe as cosmic universal magic. More on that character later. He has a resistance to that, meaning he takes less damage. He's also resistant to the fire element damage types, which is fitting considering he's fought Shoto Todoroki. Jump Force requires as special moves each character has inherited and of course can teach the protagonist. There's AP shot autocannon, a rapid fire barrage which sends your opponent flying into the air, as well as preventing any sort of rushdown from hitting you. You can follow it up with burst speed, a dash attack that hits you for some damage, and you can even not only fly up into the air with it, smack your opponent into the ground, but just chain a bunch of air combos which are really, really sick. He also has the ability Stun Grenade. It is Bakugo's most dangerous base ability in the game. Basically what it does, it can break your guard, which is important because JoJo characters use their stands to guard, and this literally destroys the stands. Temporarily, sure, but it still destroys them. So you might be thinking, oh, that's not too bad. It also hinders your mobility, meaning you cannot dash, evade, counter, or even just run. You are stuck walking a snail's pace. And of course, he has the ultimate move, as every character has an ultimate, the Howitzer Impact. A dashing up which allows you to knock them into the air, fly with your own explosions, and then hit you for a big giant explosion. Because explosions are Bakugo's thing. It is freaking cool. And in Jump Force, the more damage you take, you can enter Awakened State. there's two different kinds of awakened state. Partial awakening is a slight increase to damage of special moves and ultimate attacks. Fully awakening will allow you to do extra damage in those and physical damage. Meaning you can hit harder than a lot of certain characters in this game. Remember that, and Bakugo has been shown to go on par with a lot of different characters besides, Izuku Midoriya, All Might, and Prometheus himself. There's a lot of different characters we can go into. One of the most broken shonen anime characters, who a lot of people may or may not remember. Are you always familiar with Pegasus Sia?
Vaguely.
The name.
For those of you who don't know, Pegasus Sia, from what I've seen online, is considered one of the most, if not the most powerful shonen anime character in a long time. Yes, even compared to Goku. His power has been shown to rip multiverses apart, and has gone up against incalculable people who use the similar magic he does. And Bakugo can keep on pace with them, and his abilities can also hurt Pegasus. So much so, it can break the base armor with one stun grenade. Which is just like the default outfit for Pegasus. Yes, Pegasus is requested to fight Sailor Moon. Which is... oh boy, that'll be a fun one. Granted, he can't break Pegasus' transformation armor, this giant golden... I believe it's called Icarus armor? Or something similar to that because of the wings of a Pegasus / Icarus. He can still damage Pegasus in this state. Let's just say, despite the fact that Bakugo was not ideal for some people, his short temper, he can still keep up with the best that the shonen world had to offer. So you better start running if you smell any sort of sulfur in the air.
Is that
How much
Still got
time do I
50
have
seconds,
left?
by the way.
Hey, still got
50 seconds? Yeah, I think I'm just going to end it with that. And then we'll let Bill
Are you
go
sure?
ahead.
Shit, I didn't actually think about an end joke or one-liner. Huh. There's many things I prepared my notes. I did not prepare a one-liner.
Yeah, there's stuff I can say for feats, like how powerful other characters are, like Prometheus. I want to say for feats, honestly.
Okay, there's
Or
stuff
when
I
we
want to.
debate.
Yeah, there's stuff I want to bring up for Yang as well.
Okay, Bill, are you ready to start?
I am Yang ready. That doesn't make any sense, but I'm going to go with it.
All right, and go.
Okay then, Yang Xiaolong from Ruby. Sorry about that. So Yang Xiaolong from Ruby, the sister to Ruby Rose, who is the team leader of Team Ruby. I know we've done that joke a lot, so let's not dive into that too much. So Yang is the older sibling of Ruby. She's also kind of been like a mother figure after when the Summer Rose went brr. And of course, she also helped in training Ruby before they went to Beacon. Now, Yang is an experienced boxer. So as in her fighting style, she mainly uses like an outboxing style to get around her opponents. And her choice of weaponry for this style is some gauntlets that are both shotguns / explosives. People, there's a reason why she was my favourite when she was revealed in the yellow trailer. So when she punches you, she also hits you with a fiery explosion, which scatters. Now, of course though, she uses these gauntlets to get maneuverabilities to help her stay in the air, to also like fire like an explosive round at people to the point she can level quite a number of trees with just a single punch when angry. Or even just one shot of these gauntlets. They also make for very good deflection techniques because as an outboxer, she also specialised in blocking and deflecting. In fact, she's even got better at blocking people, which ironically was one of her weaknesses, which was foes that specialise in kicking. Now, of course, though, she eventually would go on many adventures with Ruby, though we are specifically following like Volume 2 Yang. So we can't. I don't think it's safe to give her newer arsenal, but she doesn't need her new arsenal with the weaponry she had or the feat she has. So, of course, with Yang's like fighting style and everything like that, she would eventually be added into a game called BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, which features some minor franchises you might have heard of: BlazBlue itself, Persona 4, eventually 3, and is it called Nightshade? That was the other one that was shown in the trailer.
Under Night in Birth.
Under Night in Birth, so my bad on that one. And of course, Ruby was showcased in it as well. So, Cross Tag Battle, or let's just go with BlazBlue first. Yeah, BlazBlue characters are... They might not look it, including a literal girl that's a squirrel, but these guys are some heavy, heavy hitters that Yang went up against. Which, the main character himself, or at least that's what people say is the main character, but his story kind of shifts around, Ragnar Bloodedge. A character who is both the main character, but also what is going to be responsible for the destruction of the multiverse in the story of BlazBlue. So how Ragnar's powers works is he uses this shadow energy which when strikes, it drains your soul. And not only that, the presence of, I believe it was called the Black Beast, let me look in my notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Black Beast. So, thank you mate. This Black Beast was capable of not only endangering the world he lived in, but the universe. And Yang is capable of not only outspeeding him in the fight, but also capable of tanking hits from him and reflecting them back. You may think, why is that so impressive? Well, that goes to Yang's semblance. Her ability is basically the Pokemon counter move, only it's actually kind of useful. So every hit she takes, she can store that with her semblance, or the aura she has stored. And of course, once she unleashes it, she gains a little boost from that said attack, so that she can redirect at you, plus with her own boosted powers on top of it. And of course, she can tank hits from Ragnar. Even in his base form, is capable of facing multiversal threats. One of those threats is, do apologize viewers if I butcher this name, Susanoo. That's correct, right?
I have no idea.
Fair enough. Comments can correct me on that if I said it wrong. Now, his powers are some of the most insane abilities. So, at first he comes off as just seeming like a dark, edgy creature that has the ability to just fire lasers. But he is capable of not only manipulating, like, the universe, but also, like, elements and your soul. However, Yang's capable of fighting on par with this character, who again is also another multiverse threat level. And also, he is one of the big bads of BlazBlue. The other character in Cross Tag Battle, which the story of Cross Tag Battle was a little confusing, but basically multiple universes were being watched by something called System XX. I'm pretty sure they probably would have called it a third X, but I'm pretty sure that's a different version of Cross Tag Battle. And this is basically a supercomputer that has been studying the multiverse of different different universes fighting games, but in reality it's basically whatever anime is out there. And it studies them and merges them together. And once it has enough information about these multiverses, it then destroys them. Why? Because it's a dick. Now, in each separate story of BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, both Persona, Under Night in Birth, that's such a mouthful, Ruby and BlazBlue, but all managed to basically get their own ending, but the canonical ending, which I believe is called the Cooperation ending, where which Persona 4 characters, BlazBlue, Under Night, and Ruby characters, specifically Ruby and Weiss, all teamed up to take down this powerful creature. Now, you may say, like, wait a minute, you didn't mention Yang's in there. Remember what I said before with the Family Feud thing? Yang is being considered the most powerful, or is considered the strongest member of her team, and she has regularly fought Ruby in training, but also at Beacon, and won.
Also, there's no reason they shouldn't scale to each other.
Yeah, so if Ruby And Wise, who's Wise is considered the weakest member of Team Ruby, which I say is horseshit, can defeat Subject Double X. Wise is... It's not unreasonable to say Yang also can't defeat this character if weaker versions of her team, or weakest members of her team, like quotation marks, weakest, can defeat
Let's
this.
just say members of her team.
Yeah. If they could defeat this multiverse level threat that has even studied these people, then there's no reason that I can't say Yang can't also be on that scale. Plus, with her semblance on top of it, she can take any hit from these characters and then just redirect it back at them. Now, yeah, she can't absorb a multiverse attack and reflect it like it's like she can't absorb the attack and use it again like Shujinko. But the impact from that attack, she can add it into her and then unleash it upon her opponent. It's actually a pretty cool game mechanic. It got exploited a lot during a few Evos, but yeah, they nerfed her. I heard they nerfed her, but I'm not sure. But she can use these techniques to the point she can incinerate you with a single punch, as that is one of her finishing moves. She gets you into a combo, jumps into the air, and she could just fully disintegrate you, including Ragnar. Yes, she can defeat a character who can be destroyed, which in the lore of Blaze Blue, turns out killing Ragnar also kills the universe, so Yang's just like, sorry mates, I won the fight, but at what cost? So if she can take out characters like Sasuno and Ragnar, also Shujinko, that's a character in Mortal Kombat. He can steal attacks from Mortal Kombat characters. Maybe another lads debate. My final say about this, since I've only got 1 minute left, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yang Xiaolong is the beast of Team Ruby, and Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle has put her up against even more crazier characters than I'd honestly say Jump Force, because Jump Force never had Ultra Instinct Goku. And I would definitely say a few characters from Blaze Blue, including Sasuno, could absolutely defeat Goku. And on top of that, I think it's called System Double X, would absolutely obliterate Goku. And unfortunately, I just don't see Bakugo going out with a Yang in this fight. You know, I just realized I said that right. I should have said he was going out with a Yang.
Yep, that's how you should have said it.
Yeah. Look,
Live and learn, Bill.
Oh, God. I was just talking to
Funny
May.
enough, we were talking about that song before we started.
And I said a hot take. Live and learn is not the best Sonic suit. Fight me. But anyway, so... that was bad. Shut up, Starshock. These guys are better at end puns. I try. I'm funny with dirty jokes and dead jokes. And memes.
Alright, so how long am I setting this timer for?
15 minutes, because we probably would have gone for 25, but, you know, life got in the way.
Okay. Are you two ready?
Let's go. Hear
Yes.
my knuckles crack.
Now,
Ouch.
argue and convince me.
So, this one's definitely a tough one.
Yeah, I would definitely say...
There's no doubt about that.
I think just counting their multiversal feats, I think that's just kind of even. Like, I think we can both agree with that. They both fought multiverse beings.
I would like to argue that the multiverse scale in Jump Force is definitely higher than Blaze Blue.
Okay, what makes you say that?
Well, you were talking about Susanoo we don't have Ultra Instinct Goku. While that is true, this is still the same Goku and Dragon Ball cast from Universe 7. And we know how big Universe 7 is. Keep in mind, Prometheus merged all the Jump Force universes into one, including Universe 7.
Okay, the thing about this, though, like, I've at least as far as I've seen, someone could correct me on that, someone chat. There's no saying on how big the multiverse of each of these series are, especially Ruby. Like, I don't know what their universe scale is, but I think if you were to scale it to our universe, it's way bigger than Dragon Ball's.
The thing also is just like definitely the quantity of the multiverses being into play definitely outweigh all Blaze Blue by a large margin.
I will just quickly add, not only is it merging all these universe and multiverses together, but there's also extra planes of existence. Like with Persona, it's also merging the cognitive world,
Exactly, which is another
which
universe.
is a separate plane of reality.
Same can be said with stuff like Bleach, like especially those 3 different realms. Soul Society is completely different than the regular universe.
Starshock also agrees, stat-wise, with I'm assuming he meant with the multiverse feats, they're comparable. I think we can agree, like, they probably have the scaling and durability to survive these confrontations. So I guess it's really going to come down to their opponents that they've been able to face. And yeah, don't get me wrong, being able to beat Goku, who's a martial arts master, is impressive. But the thing that's said in one of the intros for Jump Force, Goku does hold back a majority in that fight. Whereas Ragnar in most of his fights goes all out. Well, if he was to go fully all out, he becomes the Black Beast, which you don't want to do that. But even in his base form, he's capable of defeating Sasano.
The thing also is that you could argue that, sure, for Goku, but there are way more characters. Again, Pegasus Seiya was one of the ones that are corrupted, and we know how dangerous he can be. Hell, Bakugo can be shown, his powers can hurt Prometheus, and even Giorno Stand Gold Experience Requiem, which can, may I remind you, put you in an endless cycle of death. And guess what? Bakugo can technically take that on and still not be sent there because it's a one-on-one scenario.
Funny enough, Sasano actually has a similar thing. He can actually trap you in a pocket dimension, and he can manipulate it to his will. So you could argue that
so
both
Bakugo
on a
has
similar scale.
Yeah, so they're kind of similar on that front.
But the thing that's interesting I want to point out is this could go into their powers. And I think Yang, on top of all the characters she takes hits from, it just proves her aura can withstand like any blows that Bakugo can throw. Because that's the thing as well. Even though Yang's a bit brash with her attacks, mainly when she gets angry, she is also a smart fighter. Like, she dodges people that should be faster than her, like Ruby. She is stated to be the speedster, but she's managed to dodge her, even when not looking at Ruby. And before people say, oh, isn't that Volume 5? That was a flashback before Volume 1. So...
yeah, it was before Yang was going to go to Beacon.
Ding, ding, ding. Exactly. So, if she can handle speedsters, and she even tells Ruby, you know, give it your all, which Ruby does. So, if someone who's going all out, especially if you're combining that Ruby went all out against a multiverse being, it's not unreasonable to say that Yang could just dodge Bakugo, especially with her outboxing style, and just get Bakugo with some good hits. Because that's the thing.
Would be a problem if Bakugo, thanks to his training with the Jump Force, grants him more mobility gauge recovery, meaning he can recover his stamina way faster and avoid attacks much faster. Not only that, he also can resist a lot more of physical damage thanks to the similar training from Yang. So even if Yang could get the strength gap in her advantage, she still got a ways to go to wear Bakugo down. And because of Stun Grenade...
I'd just like to point out, you said similar training from Yang.
Yeah. I am not good with wording.
Okay, anyway, but my argument for this is, I'm talking about not just their durability, but their other abilities. Bakugo doesn't have anything to protect his physical body. You can stab him, which that's one of the super moves. In fact, bullets can still hurt him. A character can shoot him and he will be hurt by it, by physical damage. He has no counter to projectile attack. So Yang, on the other hand, has her aura. Aura can form a shield around her, so she can shrug off many of these powerful attacks. In fact, the only time you see a Ruby's character's semblant aura depleted is when they lose the fight.
With Bakugo, he can actually not only counter as he gets hit with an attack, thanks to fighting these people with infinite speed, but also just completely do his own version of instant transmission and just pop up behind you. Yes, that's a thing.
Again, that is impressive, but again, I think if you compare to like the multiverse characters and pocket dimension characters, they both can handle that. But I'm talking about their physical abilities, And the other thing as well, I would say Yang is physically stronger than Bakugo. Like, Yang...
Sure, you can definitely argue that.
In a manga
You
comic,
can definitely...
she was capable of punching a meteor that would have destroyed Beacon. Now...
I thought we were just going into, like, cross-tag.
Well, I mean, the mangas are considered canon, and that is set before Volume 2. So it's like, if that's considered canon, then I suppose it's fair enough to add that to her feats.
Here's my counter to that. Stun Grenade. It can interrupt any of Yang's attacks, break something as powerful as Stance, which could imply that her aura could be broken in one single stun grenade, and ensure Bakugo has the speed advantage, because again, you can move at a snail's pace when you get hit.
But what if I told you there are other characters that could do that? That they can hit you with a stun attack that can actually slow you down. And his name is... I can't remember his name. Jurasia? The guy that Ragnar regularly fights. But
You're talking about Jin?
Is it Jin? Maybe that's his name. To be fair, it's been a while.
Does he use ice?
Yeah. So he can actually...
Yeah, that's Jin.
Yeah. Jin can hit you with an ice technique that does physically slow you down. But guess what? In Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, Yang can not only shrug that off, but with her semblance, she powers through it. So, theoretically, the stun grenades wouldn't do much if someone like Jin, who, believe it or not, has defeated not just Ragnar, but also a future version of him called I should have took a name down for this. Hakumiya, who was a DLC eventually later on. So, if someone who's potentially defeated... I was trying to say his last name. That was my problem. Thanks, East for dinner.
Yeah.
So, if someone with a similar technique like that, similar to the stun grenades, I don't really think you could give that, because Yang could just power through that, as we've seen in Cross Tag Battle. Hakuman, thank you, Cease for dinner. He's just constantly correcting me. Thank you.
With stun grenade, it specifically can bypass attacks that give you super armor, very similar to Yang's aura. Why? Because of meter priority. Bakugo has the highest meter priority with stun grenade, and it can block all super armor attacks that are coming at him. Even if it's strong as like Yusuke, you know, the guy who made that giant light appear from the world tree. Or even freaking, again, Prometheus with the whole multiversal thing. So it doesn't matter if you can absorb the hit very well, or even counters like Hisoka's, Biscuits, who can take that energy and hit you back with it tenfold. It's still going to hit Yang and bypass it.
But the thing is, though, he needs to utilize that thing. As we've seen in Omni-Man versus Homelander, Homelander could get them in that state with his superhero and be able to stun Omni-Man. But he couldn't really do much to... well, okay, you managed to do this, but how do you damage it? That's the thing. He still needs to physically hit Yang. And if he does, all Yang's going to do is just use her aura to shield her. And the thing as well is you've got to include, her style is about dodging attacks until she needs to take a strong hit to then reflect it back at you. Which, as we
very similar to Biscuit Kruger. Got it.
Bakugo hasn't done well against opponents that can outsmart him. Like, Deku, I wouldn't say he has a similar ability like Yang, but he regularly outmaneuvers Bakugo and strikes him with a powerful blow, which stuns him. And I think we could both agree, in terms of like their age as well, Yang just has the more experience when it comes to physically fighting.
But I think with Bakugo being trained,
aren't they a similar age?
Yeah, and plus Bakugo could have the training edge, considering he's trained with other shonen protagonists like Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Ichigo. He's got so much training from all these other shonen characters that arguably training could be swayed to Bakugo's favor.
But here's the thing, though. Sasanu, like I mentioned, is over 20,000 years old. He has so much experience that... And Yang's capable of beating him. Same with Ragnar. And she's a younger age, so she can beat characters who are much more experienced than her. Then I would argue that Yang would take intelligence in the fight. Or even then, she can handle experienced fighters. Bakugo is a bit tricky with his fighting. Like, he does try and, like, outmaneuver his opponent.
They both can, thanks to again Susanoo and Prometheus, because of how old both Prometheus and Susanoo are.
Yeah, fair enough. But the other thing I want to point out is their, their projectiles. I think Yang has the advantage there. Like, Bakugo might be able to dodge a few, but it's enough to keep him on his toes while Yang prepares, like, her main attack.
All of Yang's projectiles are resisted by Bakugo. Did you forget that?
I don't think he could resist them.
It is literally the stats in the game that he's resistant to not only Yang's fire damage, but also the projectile damage. He is resilient too.
You could wear a fireproof suit, but if a fire fist was to hit you, you could resist the fire, but a punch to the face is still a punch to the face. You know, it's like the whole Boba Fett, heat resistant. You can resist the heat, but it doesn't mean you're immune to the impact.
I was thinking about that, and it was ice.
Shut up. But anyway, okay, Starshock, I will stand corrected. Okay, no, I never said Bakugo was an idiot. I mean as though Yang is definitely more smarter with her combat. Now, yes, I do think her rage can get the better of her, but I don't think that's ever hindered her except against Adam. But that's like a one-time fight.
And technically speaking, with Bakugo's awakening status, he'll still have the speed advantage anyway. It makes him faster.
Well, I'd say they're both light speed.
And you know how you know how you get awakening status in Jump Force? Exactly like Yang's semblance.
Okay, fair enough. So, but in the fight though, he's not gonna be able to utilize that. Doesn't that a thing you have to do after the fight by adding those stats on?
No, awakening status you can do mid-fight.
Yeah. Do you mean Yang's a more strategic fighter? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. So I think Bakugo's not going to be able to utilize this if Yang is capable of just outmaneuvering, dodging him long enough to the point she can... Again, that's the thing as well. Her aura is going to be key. Yes, eventually she'll take enough damage to the point it will deplete, but she can tank multiversal attacks from Susanoo and Ragnar. So showing her aura can resist that, whereas Bakugo's never shown a multiverse or even just a universe-busting feat in Jump Force. He could beat these characters,
surviving attacks from Prometheus is not showing resistance to multiverse attacks. Excuse me?
Yeah, Bill, by that logic, Goku's not even a planet buster because he's never blown up a planet.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is, like, he can fight these characters. Does Yang get her sticky bullets? No, because I think that is like volume 7, I want to say, or volume... I think it's volume 6.
7 onwards.
7 onwards, yeah. So, no, she doesn't get that because in Blaze Blue, this is following her in Volume 2. I think it was nearing the end of Volume 3 when the game was announced. But even then, it takes place before like the end of Volume 2 and 3.
And another advantage is Baku has a move that can make him mobile in the air. Yang doesn't really have anything like that in Blaze Blue.
No, but in the actual lore of Ruby, she uses her gauntlets to keep herself in the air. And in the fight, actually, she can keep you in an air combo with her gauntlets by firing herself and dashing over to you to hit you with some more punches. So I think in terms of aerial attacks, they're both kind of even on that playing field. Like, they could both, like, deflect each other's attacks.
And time.
Ah, shit. Alright then, well, before we actually hear Mate's conclusion, people, you all voted for... By the way, Sean, that was a lot of fun. But people voted Yang Xiaolong as the winner. By 60% of votes, though. That's kind of good. That's good.
What?
Yeah.
Damn.
But it's close, though. Not as close as Nemesis. Actually, no, I think that is as close as Nemesis versus Adam. Let me just scroll down and check. It's actually
60-40.
Yeah, it's actually the exact same. Wow, that's 2 Ruby matchups we've had at 60-40. That's kind of brilliant. But, of course, that is what people say. Mate, who would you say did the better
Because I
argument
am not people.
Okay, Namona.
Okay, I don't know why that was the first one that came to my head.
That's a good movie, man. Hashtag, let's discuss Namona. And I'm not just saying that because I want to discuss that film, because it's fucking amazing. Oh. That's my alarm I set.
Let's see. Okay, so given what you both brought up, like, yeah, they can both tangle with multiversal beings. So stat-wise, even. Or at least in terms of like power, because I don't think either of you really brought up speed.
No, we did. We
But-
both said they were both light speed.
I said
Oh, you
infinite
did?
with Pegasus. During Baku's introduction, I said infinite with Pegasus.
Oh, right.
I'd say they're still pretty even. Anyway, mate, continue.
So it would come down to base abilities, and you guys actually had quite a good back and forth with, like, he can counter this, but she can counter this, but he can counter this, but she can counter this. Like,
It was hard. It was hard.
all of that. I think based on everything I've heard, because it's from what I remember thinking, okay, so the biggest advantage here might be this. Oh, wait, hang on. Then there's this thing. I'm leaning more towards Yang.
Yang is the winner. So fans said
Yeah,
Yang,
it was
and mate does too.
Bill. It was your counter to the grenade move that did it.
I knew Sean was going to bring that up, so I was like, "Oh, you want to play that game, huh?" But GG, Sean. That was, man. That back and forth went crazy. I really thought I had you. John. Oh, did we
Sean?
lose Sean? Oh god, did we lose Sean? Has your microphone gone out again?
I hope that's the case because
No, I don't think.
Sean?
Sean?
Oh.
Sean, I think your
His icon
microphone.
on Discord blipped.
Yeah, Sean, I think your microphone's cutting out again. Technical
Oh, you
difficulty.
said GG in chat.
Oh, GG. Oh, Sean, is everything alright with your microphone? Sean?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Okay, he's alive, people. I was starting to think I was going to do the whole snake thing. Sean! Sean! But, Seized for dinner, guess Bakugo is now Baku gone. Yeah, I was quite surprised. I wasn't surprised. I was surprised at how much we went back for, because after researching Blaze Blue, I was thinking to myself, man, Blaze Blue is pretty overpowered. Starshot says, but he's still the Baku goat, if you ask me. Yeah, I do like him. Either way, great debate from both Bill and Sean. Yeah, I really like this. It's really great we could have done a matchup both Sean's wanted and some of our viewers. So, Sean, GG. John?
Oh no, he's gone quiet again.
Oh, Sean, I think something's going on with your microphone.
I'm just not talking.
Don't be upset, man. This is meant to be fun. But, yep, so that ends...
I'm trying to stretch, excuse me.
Oh, okay then. To be fair, I think this is perhaps our closest debate-wise. But, yep, people, just like what Mate does for every season, here is our Hall of Champions when it comes on screen. Eventually. There we go. So, we've had Heracross, Nora, Dragonborn, Monster Hunter, Adam, Batman, the animated series, and Yang from Blaze Blue. I'm noticing more Ruby characters have won this year on this list than any other character.
And only two I debated for.
Yeah. So that was our lads debate for this year. So what will happen next year? We'll announce that when we feel like it. But oh yeah, I also
What's
did.
funny is we do have a
Just want to show people I wasn't being biased. I do have a winner screen for Bakugo, which I'm showing on screen now. Cease for dinner. Oh, Adam next to Yang's kind of cursed. Yeah, it kind of is. That's why Nemesis should have won, people. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, so I did make a win screen for Bakugo, and I also put him on the... Well, I was prepared, people. I wasn't biased.
Yeah, I did notice a flash of that, and thought, oh, okay, you were prepared for either outcome.
Yep.
Nice.
I'm not biased. Like, if Sean did win, I would have been like, fine. In fact, Bakugo...
That's actually how I do the... That's how I do my Hall of Fames. I make sure I have, like, both of them prepared just in case.
Yeah. But, of course, Merry Christmas from the lads.
Jesus Christ.
I had to kind of use that image for Sean.
You asked me to send that to you last night.
Yeah, there's a reason. But yeah, Merry Christmas from the lads. It is the end of Lads Discuss Death Battle. And then there'll be more Lads Discuss Death Battle. And then more after that. And then we'll do plenty more after that. 100 years Lads Discuss Death Battle. We're the only friends we need, guys. Let's discuss forever and ever. 200 years. 200 years Let's Discuss Death Battle. 100 years.
Sean, while he's doing this, do we want to plug anything?
100 years Let's Discuss Death Battle. Okay, jokes aside.
Yeah.
Okay, jokes aside. Yeah. Merry Christmas from the lads. And what do you think, Galactus versus Unicron? What did you think of the previews? Well, not previews, but the teasers for next time, as well as the announced fight. And what did you think of this lads debate? And hey, what lads debates do you guys want to see? We're always down for suggestions. And yeah, Merry Christmas. You guys have any last words before we head off?
I'm still working on a little Ruby fanfic I've been trying to write. I counted the chapters that I have finished, and so far I'm halfway there. Well, slightly more so, because I've done bits and pieces in other ones.
Yeah, that's good. Sean, do you have any final says?
It's coming.
Yeah, if you folks want to stick over to my channel since Death Battle's on hiatus, I'm going to be doing some more rewatches with some other guests, and I got some Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff more on the way as well. So keep an eye on that.
Yeah, and with all that said and done, be sure to share this video around and keep the channel growing. 100 years, Let's Discuss Death Battle. We'll do more content, and then eventually we'll do Deadliest Warrior, then eventually Cartoon Fight Club.
I'm just gonna leave.
Then Bat in the Sun. And then I don't know. Maybe we'll look at.
Chad.
Maybe we'll look
Thank
at.
you for coming to hang out.
Maybe 1 Minute Melee. Maybe DBX. We're not sure about that yet.